10-0 and climbing the ladder toward a second straight SEC championship. The Volunteers are taking it one step at a time and could be 2 wins away from playing for a national championship. Almost a half century ago, General Robert Neyland commanded the Tennessee troops. He built the Volunteers into a 1951 national championship team led by 2 Hall of Famers, running back Hank Laricella and defensive tackle Doug Atkins. Now Philip Fulmer has a chance to lead his alma mater to the biggest prize in college football. This is not a team of big-name stars, but they have run through college football's best conference so far undefeated. Today, cross-state rival Vanderbilt stands in the way of a perfect season. They know an upset would ruin Tennessee's season. Vandy in Tennessee today from Nashville. It's a gorgeous November afternoon in Nashville, as today the Vanderbilt Commodores host the #1 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, on our Bell South SEC Game of the Week. Hi everyone, welcome to Vanderbilt Stadium, Dudley Field. Bob Kessling along with Dave Rowe. Glad you're with us on this Thanksgiving weekend. Tennessee, of course, already in the SEC championship game, but now thinking about a national title as well. So here are the BCS standings as we enter play this weekend. Tennessee is on top, followed by UCLA, Kansas State, then Florida State and Texas A&M. A lot of things can happen in the next 2 weeks, but Tennessee wants to stay on top. And they've done so all season long, Dave, being consistent.
Well, they certainly have, Bob. And when you look at that consistency, the first person that you point to is the quarterback, and that's T. Martin. He has been incredibly consistent, but his last 5 games have been special. Look at his completion percentage, especially look at good decision makings with 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's fantastic.
And also, he's had a great defense to back him up. Speaking of defense, Vanderbilt's defense at the bottom of the SEC, they got a tough task today.
Well, a lot of people would ask you, why do you play this game? It's an overshadowed game, or just an over-emotional game, but that's why you play it, for players like Jamie Winborn. A lot of pride. He leads the SEC, and they actually think they can win this game. We're going to see.
Yeah, you got to think that, I guess, when you come into a game like this against the #1 team in the country. Tennessee has won 15 straight in the series. They try and knock off the Commodores today.
All right, listen up a minute. Hey, I don't want you guys to play this game for the fans, the alumni, people in the city, this university. What I want you to do is go out there and play this game for yourself. Reach down deep and get it out somehow, some way. Bring it out, because it's going to be a war out there. It's going to be a real battle. It's going to be run up. It's going to be one up front. That offensive line and that defensive line got to stand up to them and make things happen. We got to play the best of our ability. Each guy take care of themselves, take care of the responsibility, play as hard as you can play. Protect the football on offense, protect the ball on special teams, and run around on defense and have fun. Yes, sir. We're going to win that game now. Let's go. Think about it a while.
Comments of Woody Woodenhofer, the Vanderbilt coach. Let's go downstairs now to the third member of our broadcast crew, David Logan.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Now, if the Commodores are going to have any opportunity to pull off the upset this afternoon, they're going to have to get things working on the ground. They're going to get a boost this afternoon because Rodney Williams, their leading rusher, with 608 yards on the season. He'll return after 2 weeks of being out of action with a sore shoulder. He needs just 37 yards to set the single-season record for rushing for a freshman. As for Tennessee, the big news for them isn't in the passing game with T. Martin and Paris Price. It has to come from the running game as well. Remember early in the season when they lost Lewis, they all held their breath and said, what are we going to do now? But Travis Henry has stepped up big time. 714 yards on the season, 577 the last 5 games, 300-yard plus rushing games, or 100 yards plus rushing games in those last 5. And when he's not running a rock, it's Travis Stevens with 389. So look for both teams to come out this afternoon, try and get it going on the ground. Let's see what happens, Bob.
To kick it off, Vanderbilt. Tennessee won the toss and elected to take the ball first. Peerless Price. He's standing back deep to receive the kick. Feels more like Labor Day than it does Thanksgiving weekend, but warm, sunny day here in Nashville. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Glad you're with us wherever you're watching today as John Marker getting set to kick this thing off. Short kick. Remember, they're looking right to the sun. Goes one up back. And Tennessee will have good field position as they get it across the 30-yard line. Derek Edmonds returns it. And now here comes T. Martin, the 6'3", 215 junior out of Mobile, Alabama. 5 interceptions on the season, but 16 touchdowns. He gives Tennessee, Dave, a remarkable added advantage of being able to run.
Well, to come in and do it, that is the #1 thing that Vanderbilt has got to be careful today, is T. Martin's elusiveness. It's not like 10 offensive players on 11. With Martin back there, he can run any time. It's 11 on 11.
No breeze at all today, so that will not be a factor. The field is dry, and right up the middle, that goes Travis Stevens. They call him Cheese because he's so hard to bring down, like running into a big block of cheese. Here's a look at our Nations Bank small business starting lineup for Tennessee on offense.
Well, we talk about all the guns that they have. It's interesting, Bob, that not oftentimes do you find the fullback, Sean Bryson, being the fastest player on the team being a fullback. And, of course, up front, they've made a lot of changes, a lot of key moves with Spencer Riley going to center, Jarvis Rito from left to right tackle. But Cozy Coleman has really solidified this offensive line.
Coleman, they're bucking for all SEC consideration, 315, a sophomore. He and Riley give him a lot of beef up front. Now the pitch back. Tennessee trying to get to the corner, and they do, as Henry has run out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but there is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
And, Bob, that flag is thrown on the backside of the play, away from the backside. Usually you think of something along the line, something happening in there like an offsides or a motion or something along that line.
Offsides penalty is the call. Ron Gilbert is your referee today. And so Woody Woodenhofer's team will back up Tennessee.
Shot clock on the offense. 15 yards. Previous spot of the ball. Still first down.
Yes, that's not offsides. That's a chop block right there. Here's Vandy's defense.
Well, it's a good defense. Gosh, they're strong up front. They're young. Doyle Crosby's just getting a learning year as a freshman, but he's played well. Jamie Winborn gets a lot of the stats up front, but of course, Lamont Turner. Lamont Turner. Then Brian Taylor, he'll get a lot of action today because he's playing in there for Fred Vinson.
Yeah, Fred Vinson, one of the seniors introduced before the game today in street clothes, just not able to go. They run the ball again, straight up the middle. And Henry gets it again. Not much there on second down, so Tennessee will face a 3rd and long. The penalty was at the spot of the foul, so it backed him up.
And behind the line of scrimmage, so that adds to it. That's the kind of breaks that Vanderbilt needs to stay in this football game early. They need things to happen. They need a big 3rd down play here. Bring them up, let them complete it underneath, tackle them short, get the football back, and see what can happen. They've got to have a lot of breaks to stay in this football game against powerful Tennessee.
You see Tennessee on 3rd downs this year, 38%, as the Volunteers now go to the shotgun formation. Vanderbilt's got 8 guys up, and Martin blitz. Can't get away. Good penetration from goal. Crosby gets credit for the sack, and Vanderbilt shuts down Tennessee on possession number 1.
Well, it had to be a break in the offensive line because Crosby came through just clear. Left side of your screen, you're going to see him just break right through there. Bang, and he's got the quarterback in the backfield.
Crosby had a big play in the last game against Kentucky. He intercepted a pass in that one. Now a sack to start things off. And so the Commodores should get pretty good field position. David Leverton, wobbly kick. Damian Charlie comes up, fields it, and he gets run down at the 47-yard line. But good field position for Vanderbilt, making the play. Dominic Stevenson of Tennessee, the converted tailback, now playing linebacker. Now time for our Nations Bank small business starting lineups for Vanderbilt.
Well, Zolman, the quarterback, has got to find Hogan's to take some pressure off the offensive line. You look up front, you got Pat Green. He's getting his first start. He's big, he's young, he's green, and he's green in experience, Bob, but he's huge. At 6'7", about 330 pounds.
There's Greg Zolman, a left-handed quarterback now. Redshirt out of Miamisburg, Ohio. He and David Wallace have kind of flip-flopped his quarterbacking job all season long. Zolman is playing with a separated shoulder, his right, so it shouldn't affect his throwing in it. But if he gets hit, he goes long on the first play, deep, just misses his man. They tried to throw it long to Jimmy Williams, overshot. Steve Johnson on coverage for Tennessee. Now Tennessee's defense.
Well, it's a strong defensive line. Darwin Walker's the interesting one there. He transferred in and really solidified this defensive line. He's probably their best pass rusher. And, you know, Al Wilson's got a lot of publicity this year, but Raynoch Thompson, he's just played fantastic. And in that secondary, Deion Grant, I think he's the man to watch. He's a big hitter. There's a lot of people are comparing him to Dale Carter, who played here.
There's Ramseur filling in for Al Wilson, who is dressed, but he's got a shoulder and a groin problem. They don't want to play him unless they have to. Vanderbilt trying to run the football with Jared McGrath, and he gets it out to midfield to pick up a 3. You saw that Vanderbilt had Jimmy Williams, their cornerback, in at wide receiver on their first play. Dave, they're going to pick and choose when they can use Williams because he's going to have a lot of duty on defense, but they want to try and get him in offense.
Well, exactly right. And Zolman likes to find Jimmy Williams out there making that transfer from defense over to offense. There's a fight between the coaches here as to which side he's going to play. Woody Woodenhofer says, I think we're going to move him back to offense next year.
So Zolman faces his first third down conversion of the day. Elliott Carson in motion for the Commodores.
Now, flag on the play. Might have been one of the offensive linemen. Might have been Pat Green who moved on the far side.
Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
We mentioned number 60, Pat Green, getting the start today because Rementi Bindum is basically suspended for the first half of this game. He got into a fight in the Kentucky game. So the rule is you get in the fight in the second half, you got to sit out the rest of that half and the first half of the next game.
Well, and Green's an interesting story. He came in about 6'7", 360 pounds. He's down to about 335 pounds. And I think Woody Woodenhofer feels a lot of confidence in his play, so he's going to get a chance today.
Vandy's last in the league in third down conversions. They try here, going long for the wide receiver, and he drops it. Had it in his hand. Anthony Jones had it for a moment and couldn't hang on. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Huge play. Jones had that football in his hands. What a difference that would have made. Now watch the tail end of this play. You're going to see a little pressure on Zolman right there. Bang. But he throws the football up. He leads them well down the sidelines. And watch Jones, number 10, get under this ball. He's got it in his hands. And you see the good rip out there by Goodrich.
Goodrich actually took that one away from him. So the freshman from Chattanooga had it for a moment. Joe Webb on to punt now. Driving kick. And the ball will be fielded back inside the 15 by Jermaine Copeland. Gets away from 1, 2. Flag down. Copeland stiff arms his way out of bounds to the 23-yard line. 41-yard punt, but it's going to be backed up. The penalty flag back down at the 10-yard line.
That's the hand in the back. And that will take him inside. That'll take him about the 5-yard line, Bob. That was thrown on about the 10.
Yeah, so 2 critical penalties for Tennessee have gotten the Volunteers backed up here in the first quarter. A chop block, and now the push in the back.
Illegal block in the back. On the return team. Half the distance. First down.
Well, we may be able to see that. It was what it was a hand in the back.
So Philip Fulmer's team will have it at the 5-yard line to start this second possession of the game. Each team has had it once. No score so far here at Vanderbilt Stadium. Fred Vinson, Vandy's best cover guy, watching today from the sideline. Left foot and groin injury for Vinson. That's a big loss to this Vanderbilt defense. Woody Woodenhofer thinks he's one of the best cover guys, maybe the best in the conference. Jamie Winborn steps up and shoves him back.
Oh, what a hit. Did you see him run through? That's the way you want to tackle. You want to come up on that line, don't stop those feet, and run through somebody. Watch Jamie Winborn, 42, center of your screen. He's going to slide over there and just run right through. Bang, right in there, get his hands up, wrap on, and hold on. Got a little help there from the left end, Chuck Lucy.
There's Winborn, the freshman. And, of course, had 15 tackles in a game this year against Mississippi State. He's just a guy who is still learning the position like a lot of these young Vanderbilt defensive players are. Woody Woodenhofer very open yesterday, saying he thought they would be better than this. Little slip screen pass. Peerless Price has some room, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds short of the first down. It'll be at about 2 yards short as the pass goes out, and Lamont Turner makes the play on the senior Peerless Price.
Boy, and Price is such a weapon, both going deep and for that little slip screen. He allows those linemen to get out front, and they get big blocks. Tennessee, you just get the feeling, can break it any time from any place on this football field.
Price, only the 4th receiver in Tennessee history, and they've had a lot of good ones to go over 4,000 yards in his career. Now 3rd down and 2 for the Volunteers. Martin to spread out, trying to get to the corner. It does, breaks it. Out across the 25 and shoved out of bounds just short of the 30-yard line. There's that added weapon Tennessee has on offense with T. Martin.
Yeah, and when you get your fullback out there, Will Bartholomew leading you, number 45, gets great block on the outside linebacker on Stewart. See right there, just kicks him out, cuts right back inside. It's a nice play.
Yeah, Bartholomew comes from some pretty good stock. His grandfather played on the Tennessee teams, those great teams back in the late 30s. Those undefeated teams in 38 and 39. In fact, he was a captain of that team, Sam Bartholomew, and his dad played at Army. There's Travis Henry from Frostproof, Florida. On a first down, Martin fakes to him. Gonna throw long. Got a man open, and he's got him. Peerless Price makes the move in front of Brian Taylor. They're picking on Fred Vinson's replacement.
Yeah, we looked at that earlier. Brian Taylor's going to get a lot of work over there. This is his first one of his first starts. I shouldn't say his first start, but he's getting a chance to play for Fred Vinson. And in that cornerback spot, you've got to give room. See that inside fake now right there? Now he plants, comes all the way around. That's not what you want to do as a cornerback. You run, you give a cushion by backpedaling. And look at that, great concentration.
I'm not sure he had that one, Dave. I think he might have been juggling that one, but he gets the call. That's what happens when you're a senior. You get those calls. Henry puts his head down and gets a couple as they go try the right side. Matt Stewart, the linebacker, coming up, and Winborn to make the play. There's a Peerless Price now moving up past Tim McGee, number 3 all-time in career yards at Tennessee. Joey Kent, the all-time leading receiver in Tennessee history.
Of course, Marcus Nash, I believe, is number 2, Bob.
That's not a bad list
No,
there, is
that's
it?
sure not.
And Joey Kent, of course, I bet he's here. Well, I guess the Oilers are playing in Seattle, so he might not be. It might have to leave with him, but of course, Joey Kent now a member of the Tennessee Oilers. Right in the middle, looking to break tackles. He was dead to rights, was Henry in the backfield as Matt Stewart got him clean, but he spun away and picked up maybe a yard.
Well, Matt Stewart has got to make that play. We're going to watch the offensive line pull down the line, kick out. Right there, kick out inside. And look at Matt Stewart right there. You just got to hold on. You got to wrap him up. You just got to grab something.
Dave, he's a tough guy to get a hold of.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about how strong and big he is. He's 5'11", but Travis Henry is a load to bring down. Third down. Tennessee goes with 4 wide receivers.
See if Vanderbilt doesn't bring pressure right now.
They fake the blitz, don't come. Here's the swing pass. Peerless Price, one-handed, running free down the sideline, and Price is knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
What a catch. He looked like he had a baseball glove on there, and that was just a high throw to first base.
34 yards. He made a one-handed grab last week against Kentucky, and this one's just as good.
Look at this, way up there, one hand, never even put the other hand on the football. Then down the sideline, that's just a marvelous catch.
Price has really come on in recent weeks. And just a great swing pass there. First down. Henry tries to pull his way to the end zone to the 3-yard line. Running over people.
Running over with him on his back.
Here Lucius finally makes the tackle, but not before he went for a ride.
Yeah, Turner should have gotten this tackle 44. He had him right here. Watch. Come up right there. You got to wrap. You got to get those arms around him. You can't let him break through. And you can see the safety. Lucius just rides along.
So far on this drive, remember T. Martin had a long run on a 3rd down. See John Chavis, the defensive coordinator on the right, and David Cutcliffe way on the left. 2nd down goal, Tennessee. This drive, remember, started at the 5-yard line.
This is just big man on big man, just pow it in there.
Henry hitting the backfield. Might have gotten a yard, not much. Matt Stewart came up and filled the hole that time.
Of course, Stewart made a nice play that time. What you want to do in this situation is get some penetration. Don't try to take them on the offensive lineman because they're so big. And Stewart, number 26, just slices in. Left of your screen, you're going to see him just come right in there. Bang, he's right in there, gets a hand. This time he holds on.
Dave, you talk about playing on the edges, and that's what they have to do, play on the edges. Right now, Tennessee threatening to take the first score. We'll be back. A timeout. First, a word from your local stations. There are lots of Tennessee fans here at the game today. I would guess 70% of the stadium filled with Tennessee fans, and they're going right into the teeth of those fans in the south end zone. 11th play of the drive. 3rd down, goal. Martin on the option, and he is dragged down in the backfield. Good play, Ryan Olds, as he penetrates, takes him down, takes the helmet with him. And so Tennessee's got to go for a field goal.
Well, you got to slide around that defense, and that's what Alts does. He doesn't try to take him on. He's trying to get penetration. Watch the quarterback. He barely gets out. You see Alts on that slide around the center block right there? Just slips the block, gets underneath, and makes the tackle, and you can see the excitement. Again, down the line, you're going to see him come bust right through. No place for T. Martin to go. Of course, that's his 3rd sack of the year. He got a good one there. Held him to a field goal try.
Now the SEC's all-time leading scorer, Jeff Hall, steps in to try and give Tennessee the lead. Well, he's been automatic all season long. Jeff Hall, his 17th field goal of the season. But the Commodores keep him out of the end zone and give up the field goal. Top-ranked Tennessee jumps in front first. 3-0 Tennessee here in Nashville. Just a gorgeous day here in Middle Tennessee. Sellout crowd at Vanderbilt Stadium. Tennessee takes the lead 3-0 on the Jeff Hall field goal. Tennessee drove it 90 yards but couldn't get it in. So that's a boost to Vanderbilt's defense. But Hall kicks his 59th career field goal. This is also a seasonal high. 17 field goals this year. 2 other times he'd kicked 16. Jimmy Williams deep for Vanderbilt. Line drive kick, and Williams will let it skip into the end zone. Commodores will take it at the 20-yard line. There was another SEC game earlier today between the Hedges and Georgia Tech. Boots a last-second field goal to knock off the Georgia Bulldogs, 21-19. That jumbles things up a bit, too.
Sure does.
Tennessee fans not happy to hear that because that hurts them in the BCS standings, perhaps. Which is all, Dave, I still haven't figured all
I know.
out.
You've seen all the formula pieces, the pieces of the puzzle that go into that formula. Big series here, Bob, for Vanderbilt. They don't want to give the football right back up. They just got a boost from their defense. Now they need to do something on offense.
Zolman going to throw on first down. Got a man open in the slot. Hogan strips and goes down. Dwayne Goodridge, no flag on the play. 2nd down for Vanderbilt. Let's go downstairs to David Logan.
All right, Bob, right before the game, I had a chance to talk to Jeff Rutledge, the quarterback coach for Vandy, and he talked to me about Greg Zolman. He said, listen, what I told him before the game is just to play smart, not to make a lot of mistakes, run when you have to, and if you get in trouble, throw the football away. But he said the pressure isn't just on Zolman. He said the receivers have to step up and play a lot better than they have this year. Last week against Kentucky, they dropped 11 passes, and already in the first series and the second series, the trend is beginning, Bob.
Yeah, they've dropped a couple already, haven't they? 2nd down. Option. Bad pitch. McGrath. He's in trouble and runs out of bounds at the 10. That'll be a loss of about 10 yards. Dave, you just can't do that.
Well, Zolman got just leveled. I mean, when he looked up, the first thing you come down the line, you're trying to read the outside backer. Watch this. He gets 2 steps, and there's the backer, and bang, he just gets smashed. So he's just trying to get rid of the football, trying to make something happen. Good heads-up play there by McGrath to just get the football, get a couple yards, get back upfield. But that could have been a disaster.
Trying to hold the damage to a minimum right there. So Zolman will have a 3rd down and 20 yards to go. Vanderbilt going the wrong way on this possession. They're 12th in scoring, 11th in passing, 12th in first downs in the SEC, so they're last in virtually every offensive category. And Zolman on 3rd down from his own end zone. Overshoots his man. Might have been intended for Nezia Sonolu, and he had deep Anthony Jones, but it kind of split him that nobody could get it, so Vanderbilt's got to punt it away.
When Tennessee puts such pressure on a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, because they get in your face, they make you make those quick decisions, and sometimes you even short-arm it. But if Joe Webb ever wanted to get a good punt, he needs one here. He's got to get. He needs to get Tennessee out of their own field position.
He's averaging 37.5 yards per punt. Now he's in the shadows of his end zone. Not a good one. Wobbly kick. See if it gets a Vanderbilt roll. It'll be picked up by Copeland. And Tennessee will take possession in Vanderbilt territory at the 48-yard line, covering Lamont Turner for Vanderbilt. Go online with the Southeastern Conference at secsports.com. This interactive site features up-to-date statistics as well as cybercast coverage of conference events throughout the year. That's secsports.com. A lot of information about football and basketball and all the other sports in the SEC.
Yeah, we'll have some interesting insights on the SEC championship game to come up this next week.
Travis Stevens now comes in at tailback for Tennessee. Stevens and Henry have done a bang-up job since Jamal Lewis was injured early in the season. Martin to throw. Slant pattern is complete to Peerless Price. And he's got the receptions. Price off to a good start today, again in front of Brian Taylor.
Well, Taylor has given a lot of cushion. You want to give about 5 to 7 yards on that cushion, and that's the distance between the receiver and your own position. But Taylor giving about 10 or 11 yards. And T. Martin just taking the football, looking over there, seeing the young freshman playing back, bang, throwing it out there, completing those passes. He's got to take a chance. That's what defensive backs are known for. They got ice water in their veins.
Stevens, the sophomore from Clarksville here in Middle Tennessee, gets his first carry, breaks a tackle, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Pretty good play that time by Ansley Battles, coming up from his safety position, the junior from Lilburn, Georgia.
11 men on the line of scrimmage on the tail end of the play. You're going to see 32. Lurch has just come through. He has him right there. Misses him. But as you said, Battles comes across, makes a nice tackle to hold it.
I'll tell you what, they're trying to arm tackle today, and that won't get it done for Vanderbilt. Philip Fulmer, the winningest active coach in college football, 10-0 now on this season, trying to finish out the first Tennessee team in regular season history to go 11-0.
Up here comes an audible on the line. You don't know what T. Martin saw, but he saw the backer sliding up.
He's going to give it to his tailback. Stevens going to vault for a couple and then shove back. Matt Stewart there again for Vanderbilt, along with Lamont Turner. Stay tuned at halftime for our Bell South You Call the Play feature. A look at a big call from SEC games past.
This was just heads up in the middle. You'll see Matt Stewart come up in there and make the tackle inside. But you see Vanderbilt's hustling to the football. They're trying to play strong. Their defense held them to that field goal on that first drive. They want to keep them out of the end zone again.
Third down. Price, single coverage to the top of the screen. Copeland in the slot down low.
Yeah, here comes a blitz. They got 10 men up on the line of scrimmage.
Martin sees it. Throws it for the end zone. Cedric Wilson comes back, and the ball's knocked away. Jimmy Williams, good coverage that time, as Cedric Wilson had a shot at it, but Williams, the outstanding cornerback from Baton Rouge, got a hand in there and broke it up.
Well, it's a safety blitz. It's a free safety, number 32, Howard Lurchus. He just comes flying up in there, and as T. Martin was let go of that football, he had to throw it up high. And what a good play by Jimmy Williams, number 9, the cornerback. Playing the football all the way, getting the inside position, gets that hand up in between and just rips the football out. Vandy's defense has answered the call twice. Boy, this is interesting. Punt formation from the 32-yard line.
David Leverton. Well, Tennessee has done this on several occasions in games this year, like Auburn. They just rely on their defense. They don't think the other team can drive the ball 90 yards against it.
I think they're going to take a delay game penalty.
Sure, back it up.
Yeah.
And the clock is down to 0, so Tennessee will get a delay of the game penalty. See if Vanderbilt takes it.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vanderbilt say, nah, we want to see you punt it inside from the 32-yard line. Well, Woody Woodenhofer's quite a defensive coach, and in the NFL, he had just a stellar career. Well, they're going to take
Ball before the snap. Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
4th down for Tennessee, and Leverton will do it again. Leverton, of course, has been one of the most improved players on this Tennessee team. He was the starting punter last year, but had some problems early in the season, lost his job, and now the sophomore out of Midland, Texas, has bounced back to be just an outstanding punter. His long this year, 61. Now tries to drop it inside the 20. Wobbly kick, and Charlie will make the fair catch at 11. So Tennessee picks up about 20 yards or so on that exchange. 27-yard punt by Leverton. But, Dave, when you can drop it inside the 20, that's the goal.
Well, that's exactly right. You're not punting for distance there. You're punting for position. But you have to credit Vanderbilt's defense there, hanging them in there. They've stopped them now. Stopped them the first time, got a field goal. Stopped them that time, made them punt. And Steve Crosby, the coordinator, he's got to be a little bit happy. He's got to get his offense going a little bit, though.
Well, they've used 3 quarterbacks. They started with Hy Lewis. Then they went to David Wallace, and now with Greg Zalman. And you see Vanderbilt -8 total offense. They've missed a couple of passes that were open and had that bad pitch on the last possession. And now the Vanderbilt team trying to work with the Tennessee fans right behind them in that south end zone. McGrath, nothing there. As Eric Westmoreland comes up to stuff him.
Boy, and you know how hard McGrath runs. I mean, everybody knows he's a hard runner. He's about 205 pounds. I mean, when he hit Westmoreland, that was just a stick. Watch this. Ooh, man.
Westmoreland, kind of an undersized linebacker, 6 foot 210, but he'll hit you. And so will Raynoch Thompson and Chris Ramseur. You know, you think of linebackers, you think of Dick Butkus, of course, 6'4", 230, something like that. Well, all the Tennessee linebackers, they go 210, 211, 217. Raynoch Thompson, he says he has to eat 4 or 5 meals a day just to keep weight on, but they can fly. Oh, that time Corey Terry came across and he delivered a wallop to Hassanalou, the man in motion, but I think Vanderbilt's offensive line jumped first, and that's what sent Terry across the line.
Yeah, Condrey jumps on the play.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
I tell you what, Hassanalou got knocked for a loop on this one. Watch it.
Watch 76 jump off. Now watch. Bang. That's just, I just ran across the line. I didn't see him coming.
That's like walking in the crosswalk and whammo, get blindsided. Well, there's the offensive brain trust of Vanderbilt. Now they got big problems. Second down, long at the 7-yard line. Zolman going to dump it out. Nothing there. Got it to his tight end, Elliott Carson, but Tennessee sniffs out the screen pass, and Billy Ratliff makes the play for Tennessee.
Yeah, Ratliff, he's the sneak tackle on that. He's a spy. When that little tight end screen is, that little screen's dumped over the middle, he's got that receiver and just makes a good tackle, solid tackle.
Ratliff, of course, a great story, too. He's battled back from a couple of knee injuries. Also had a neck injury. He lay motionless in the practice field last year for a long stretch. And Ratliff has battled back and has really contributed. Doesn't practice all that much and is limited in the number of snaps in the game, but he makes an impact. Vanderbilt 0 for 2 on third down conversions. Pressure. Zolman unloads and has got his man. Adam Ditto, I think, spins out for a first down across the 20-yard line. Adam Ditto, a freshman, makes a big catch and gets Vanderbilt out of a hole.
Boy, that was a huge catch. Crossing pattern. His offensive line gave him a little bit of time as Zolman stands back there. He looks, he's going to get pressure from Corey Terry on the outside, but he gets the football off on a crossing pattern and throws a strike to Adam Ditto, and Ditto gets thrown for the first down. Right there, he didn't have the first down made. When the tackle was made, he got thrown for the first down.
Tennessee has had a habit of giving up some long gains on third down situations all season long, and that was a big one there. Now Zolman with time to throw this time. Bombs it,
That's all right.
And it's incomplete. He was intending, I think, for his tight end, Elliott Carson, but the ball sailed out. Zolman said he came to Vanderbilt thinking he was going to be a pre-med student. After his freshman year, he says, I think I'll go to business. So Zolman's going to try that. Of course, he's comes from a football family up in Miamisburg, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati.
I thought it interesting when you were talking to him about David Wallace. Watching Wallace at the beginning of the season, knowing that he was going to get his chance, and he has gotten it.
In fact, the two quarterbacks had Thanksgiving dinner together, so there's not much animosity there. Timeout Vanderbilt. As Zolman and Wallace, I think they understand, Dave, they need each other to learn this offense when they're young quarterbacks.
Well, there's a lot of playing time, and a lot of plays are going to be done.
Al Wilson, the emotional leader of this Tennessee team, a guy that was a semifinalist for the Butkus Award, but of course he's just been bothered all season long with shoulder injuries and groin problems. And Dave, the only way those things heal are just to stay idle.
Yeah, you've got to take time off.
Of course, Tennessee trying to win its way into a national championship game. We talked with Philip Fulmer about the BCS, and he says he thinks he still favors down the road a playoff system somehow.
That's the only way that you're going to crown a true champion. Now, that's easy for me to sit here and say, and I don't spend any time looking at any kind of formulas as to how you would do it, and apparently it's very difficult to get that kind of matchups and scheduling and all the multitude of problems that must go with that. And then the bowl system certainly has been tremendous to college football in itself. So maybe perhaps this is the best system that can come up with.
Unless you're one of the three teams undefeated that gets left out of the championship game. But that's what you're trying to do now, play and impress enough voters across the country to stay 1 or 2. Nothing. Oh, McGrath breaks a tackle, spins it outside, and then is chopped down. Getting good coverage that time as they get him going east and west, and making the stop was Eric Westmoreland.
Well, you see John Chavis in the picture. He didn't like that play. He's yelling down. But watch McGrath. He's going to do a little misdirection here, come back against Brand. Now, right here, he breaks out of a tackle. That's what you want to do. He broke out a tackle of Coleman, the left tackle, then gets outside. But you see that Tennessee speed. You know, the thing that's really interesting about that bowl championship is the teams that you play out of conference. If they don't have good records, boy, that really hurts you.
Third down. Zolman's got room to run. Now he's going to unload. Fires for Adam Ditto, and the ball is knocked away by Deion Grant. Dave, we were talking about him before the game. Closing speed. And the 6'3 sophomore did really motor. That time he was 10 yards behind Ditto and caught up.
Yeah, watch this. Goes right on the line of scrimmage, throws it up there. Now watch him, watch Deion Grant, number 7, make up that speed. And you see him get the hands up to break that. That was completion all the way right in there. That's a completion. Watch this. Look at Grant looking back for the football, gets those hands just perfect up there. And what would have been a long completion and a lot of emotion turns into a punt.
So now Joe Webb in for his third punt of the day. That's a little better. Good spiral. Copeland looking into the sun, makes the catch. They run him down from the backside. Damian Charlie, good speed there, and gets Copeland down at the 32-yard line. 45-yard kick and no return. Thanks for Charlie, who really motored downfield.
And Bob, for Woody Woodenhofer, I can tell you it's an emotional time. The longer you stay in a football game like this, the more the emotion plays for your team and plays against Tennessee. Everybody thought Tennessee would come in and score the first 3 or 4 drives. Vanderbilt has answered. They've responded. They've sputtered on offense, but their defense still playing hard. But Tennessee's got a lot of weapons.
1:10 to go, first quarter. Bob Kessling, Dave Rowe, David Logan with you. Henry hit in the backfield. Battles comes up, stuffs the hole, and then Jamie Winborn finishes him off.
Well, what they're doing with Tennessee's backs is making them make an adjustment at the line. When they come up into the line, the hole is not opening at the point of attack. They're having to come up, do a little sidestep to try to find the hole. And you can see that they're just not bursting through there, Bob, like they've done in the past.
Henry 8 carries now for 19 yards in this first quarter. Tennessee with the clock running. 40 seconds and counting.
And if you're Tennessee, you don't want to leave this Vanderbilt team in this game too long because a lot of things can happen.
Advantage just a couple of inches away from having 2 touchdowns. Swing pass. Bryson out of the backfield. Runs out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Bryson short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Bryson, a very versatile player. Philip Fulmer has said Bryson might be the most valuable player they have on offense. One of their best blockers. He's the fastest guy. He's run for 4 touchdowns. He broke a long one against Florida and Kentucky. And as you see there, he's got great hands out of the backfield. They think he's going to be a terrific pro football prospect.
He just needs opportunities. You see right there his receptions, 17 receptions. That's coming out of the backfield, averaging almost 10 yards a catch.
Yet he's also unselfish because remember he was a tailback. And then they asked him to move to fullback, and he did it. And has played there very well. Martin looking. Now he's going to cut it back. He's got some room. And he slips down at the 36-yard line, short of a first down. Vanderbilt just wouldn't let him get loose as Matt Stewart and also Jimmy Williams come up and corral T. Martin, and Tennessee's got to punt it back.
Well, watch T. Martin on this. He's going to come out here. Nobody's open. Good defense now, trying to cut back against the grain. He's running on artificial turf. So right here, when he puts his foot down, you see him just kind of trip and stumble.
Last 3 years, Vanderbilt has given Tennessee fits, and they're doing it through 1 quarter here in Nashville today. Three 3-0 Tennessee as we head to the second quarter here at Vanderbilt Stadium, Dudley Field in Music City. Bob Kessling, Dave Rowe, David Logan with you today on this gorgeous November afternoon as we now go to the dusk period. David Leverton in and Damian Charlie back to receive the punt. That's a beautiful kick by Leverton. High and long. Charlie at his 15. Trying to get outside. And Fred White finally gets him out of bounds at the 23-yard line. But, Dave, I think the story of this game so far, after the 51-yard punt by Leverton, has been Vandy's defense.
Well, it certainly has. Here they hold him down inside the 5-yard line. You see Winborn slide along there, make the tackle. Then Ault comes up with a huge tackle on the next series. Right there, slashing through. Cats getting the quarterback, bringing him down. That held him to a field goal. And then again, Winborn sliding along, no place to run. You see Henry trying to go over top. Well, Stevens, I should say in that picture, trying to go over top. Vandy's defense has played well. Winborn already has 5 tackles.
First down, Vanderbilt. McGrath, penalty flag down. McGrath breaks a couple of tackles. Nice moves, but I think it's coming back as McGrath rumbles out to the 35-yard line. Deion Grant comes up to make the play.
Well, you think when you see a flag thrown like that, you think movement. But all the Vandy players are all pointing over there to Tennessee.
Offsides Tennessee.
Boy, that was a nice cut there by McGrath. Coming back against the grain, saw that little seam open on the backside. You got to slide along that backside to keep the hole. You can see a concerned Philip Fulmer on the sideline.
Here's a look at our Duckhead first quarter stats. Vanderbilt hanging in there, but not getting much done offensively.
Well, Bob, no offense, but more importantly, there's one stat up there that doesn't show, and that is that Tennessee's only leading 3-0. That's a huge stat. To only have -8 yards in offense, you're not talking about a whole lot of offense, but more importantly, they're only down 3-0.
Zolman's got time. Now he's throwing, and the ball is incomplete. Trying to get to Hogan's. It looked like he broke off the pattern. The ball sails incomplete, but Zolman again took a big hit. One thing Tennessee does, Dave, they get to the quarterback, and they will knock him down on virtually every play. That time, Darwin Walker got there.
Well, I looked and asking Zolman how tough he is. I said, how strong are you? You see, he's been hurried 4 times, 4 knockdowns, no sack. And Zolman told me he bench presses 315, squats about, I think he said close to 600 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big, tough kid.
He's going to need to be tough today because, like we say, Tennessee will come after you all the time.
He's 2 of 9 today. Walker, by the way, just limped off the field for Tennessee. Swing past McGrath. Looking for a block. Puts his head down. And he gets stuffed short of the first down. He's going to be about 2 yards short as McGrath is spun out, the sophomore out of Ocala, Florida. He's playing in the place of Rodney Williams, who had earned the starting spot, but now he's out with a bruised left shoulder and some nerve problems there.
Watch what McGrath does on the tail end of this play. Fullback coming out of there. He knows he's going to get tackled. Boom! You just try to run right through, get as many yards as you can. But good hustle there by Fred White to come over and help make that tackle. Good block there by Anthony Jones, number 10, the wide out, helping his running back out a little bit.
So now it's 3rd down and short for Vanderbilt. This has been a problem all season for him, maintaining the ball and keeping drives alive. They're going to hand it off to McGrath. He puts his head down. Let's see. I think he got it.
Good solid line charge up front. Pat Green, we talked about him earlier, the sophomore, the big guy, getting a shot at Sean Wilson, the right guard. And Barnett, center, just coming off the line, control. You see right there at the point of attack, they're just plowing off there, just trying to get as many yards as they can. Almost looked like a wedge block there, Bob.
There's Jeff Barnett, the center. They think they've got a pretty good offensive line in the making here. Brian Gruber, 64, the sophomore. Next to him is a good player. And then Sean Wilson, the senior, the veteran on this team, number 79. So a first down for the Commodores. McGrath bounces it outside and gets to midfield. Cut down on the play as coming up to make the tackle was Steve Johnson from his corner slot.
And you know, one of the best things that happened to Jared McGrath this year was the play of Rodney Williams. That really sparked him. McGrath came out, had a lot of publicity about how many yards he was going to do, came back and just didn't have success. Williams came up, played well. That really spurred McGrath on, and now he's playing hard. He runs every time tough.
He's got 20 yards today. He's got a shot at getting 1,000 yards in his career today as he came in at 9:54. Second down. Zolman. Backside pressure. He's got to get rid of it. Now he turns it up, and he's going to be close to a first down. As he gets it down to the 43-yard line. He showed pretty good speed that time.
It was interesting. He saw that marker, Bob, and he knew he had that first down yardage. He's going to roll out, play action, fake out, and roll wide. Now watch when he gets out here. He's going to pick up that little flag. And he's going to see exactly where it is and look at him. He's just going to step just past it right there. He sees it. You see that flag off on the side? Just enough to get the first down.
You know, Dave, it's difficult for a coach. You earn your money in these type of week. It's Thanksgiving. Players are thinking about going home for Thanksgiving, being with their family. Tennessee's a 28-point favorite. And now here's Vanderbilt coming out and taking it to Tennessee. Handoff McGrath. Good block on the corner. And McGrath's got another first down. What a block that time by the tight end, Elliott Carson.
Boy, great adjustment by Carson. He comes down the line. He's going to go outside, and watch him. He's going to turn right back on the outside. Watch number 80 in your screen. Now, right there, he sees that block, turns right back inside, and picks up Judd Granslow. Carson just gets a good block on him, turns him inside, and now downfield too. You see another good block. Hogan's number 7. He's chicken fighting him out there, trying to keep him down off.
But a key injury just a moment ago. Jeff Barnett, the center, is limping to the sideline. And Dave, you can lose some guys in the offensive line, but it's tough to lose your center. And Barnett looked like she's hurt.
Boy, and the first thing you think of is that quarterback's exchange. Making sure the quarterback says, okay, I got my hands up far enough, making sure the center. He's been standing on the sideline, he's cold, and now he's got to snap that football up and make it perfect. First time, no practice here.
Ryan McSwain comes in at center, and they go right up the middle for maybe 1 or 2 yards. McGrath, as they work on Barnett, that's that left knee. He's already got it wrapped, and he's in some pain over there.
Yeah, he is. Looked as if he might have hyperextended it. When he fell down, Bob, he was laying straight out. Might have hyperextended his knee, but you're right. He's one of those ones that they need in there to play. He's a tough kid. You can see he's grimacing there. I'm not surprised if he comes back.
Vanderbilt chewing up the clock here in the second quarter. Solman out pattern, overshoots his man, trying to get it to the other tight end, O.J. Fleming, just a little bit too far out in front of him. That would have just been a short gain anyway, a couple of yards. So 3rd down and 10. One thing about Zolman, he is not afraid to let it go. He doesn't hold the ball. He will run out. He's mobile. He's a little quicker than David Wallace, and he brings a lot of things to the table for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and he makes good decisions. So one thing you don't want to do in this situation, you're in field goal range, close to being in field goal range. And Woody Woodenhoff will tell you, don't force the football in there. Don't make a mistake. 3rd down and 10. If it's not there, throw the ball away. Don't try to make something spectacular happen.
Vandy 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Now the center, I think it hit the up guy as it came across, and now they're going to sort things out on a fumble. McSwain came up with the bobble as Barnett is back up. The ball hit the guy in motion.
Before the snap.
Oh, you know what he did? The center hitched on the ball.
3rd down.
Maybe we can see this. I think he's going to hit Carson on coming across the line, and when he snaps the football. Watch right here. See if he moves the football right there. Now see, now he comes back. Now, oh, see, he double hitched it. Picked the football up a little bit and saw the tight end moving across, and that's an offside. That's a penalty. It's a motion penalty by the center. Offsides.
Throws him back 5 and probably takes him out of field goal range to boot. So Vanderbilt's got to pick up some yardage on 3rd down. Zolman, little slip screen to Jones, and there was a lot of traffic there. And it was McSwain who might have been in the way of Jones trying to get free.
Well, this was going to be a screen over the middle, so the offensive linemen, they let all the defenders in. Right there, it's going to be a screen underneath, but it never develops. Right there, you see the ball is going to be thrown there to Jones.
McSwain almost tackled him. So bad execution there by Vanderbilt, and so Webb comes in again for his 4th punt as Copeland steps back. He'll get it at his 10-yard line. Now they're trying to sort things out. On the Vanderbilt sideline, Webb booms that one.
They just want to catch it there. Just catch it.
And they do. Charlie, another big play on special teams. Damian Charlie caught it in the air on the 35-yard punt. And so Tennessee will take over at its 2-yard line this time. One time Tennessee had it at the 5, now at the 2, but Tennessee still leads Vandy 3-0 here in the second quarter. Tennessee backed up. Volunteer fans in the end zone trying to cheer them on as top-ranked Tennessee. What else is doing? A dogfight with Vanderbilt. It seems like it happens every year.
I'm surprised they haven't gone back to the outside to Price. They just want to plow it out, try to get some first downs, get some yardage, get out of trouble.
Let's go downstairs to David Logan.
All right, Bob. The Commodores may have to get this done without a couple of their key players. First of all, they're getting thin in the secondary. Number 9, Jimmy Williams, has a slight concussion. They're going to hold him out for the remainder of the first half. He's questionable for the second. As for centers, Jeff Barnett, he sprained the left knee. He's up moving around. He's moving pretty good going straight ahead, but whether or not he can go lateral, he's questionable as well. We'll see on the next series.
Henry picked up a couple on first down. Second down, Tennessee. They'll try Henry again. Right up the middle. Winborn takes him on head-on and drags him down at the 10-yard line. That was pretty good mano-mano right there.
It sure was. I thought for a minute Winborn was going to pull him down short. You see his reaction. He's upset because he tackled him high. Winborn already with 6 tackles right in here. You got to hit him down low. Now watch right there. He almost wins, and then you see the leg strength where there's Winborn again sliding inside. He's got him, right? Drive through him. Don't try to pull him down. He's going to gain 3 or 4 more yards.
Jamie says, you know, most of the time you hit a guy like that, he goes down. Not this one. Holy moly. That's a load to bring down. Travis Henry. Tennessee 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. They're bringing everybody. They pull and bringing it outside is Henry out across the 30-yard line. Well executed. Tennessee pulled 2 offensive linemen. That sprung Henry for a pickup of 22.
Yeah, great block by Cozy Coleman coming around the outside. You'll see number 52 get to the outside there. There he is leading out in front of the play. Gets outside, hooks him back inside. Good blocks right there. Now, number 46, Brian Taylor, you've got to tackle. You can't come up and grab air. You got to hit man on man. Get in front.
Vanderbilt now playing without its 2 top cornerbacks, though, Fred Vinson and Jimmy Williams. So Charlie and Brian Taylor are getting the duty now. Martin zips it, almost intercepted by Lamont Turner. Wow. That would have been a touchdown.
Boy, hit him in a bad place, we used to say, the hands. That ball was right in his hands. Nothing but sidelines.
He had a couple interceptions against Kentucky and should have had one here.
Left of your screen, you see him dropping out there, 44. Look at this, right in the hands. And he knows it. That's the one that you need. That's the kind of breaks that Vanderbilt needs to stay in this football, in this football game.
He breaks it up, though, on the pass, and that's T. Martin's first misconnection of the day. It hit his first 5.
Here comes the pressure. If they don't blitz, try to put pressure on the quarterback.
Nope, they drop back. Martin double clutches, got his man, and Peerless Price breaks a tackle. Peerless Price streaking for the end zone. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Tennessee. 68 yards. T. Martin to Peerless Price, and Vanderbilt again missed 2 tackles.
Boy, Brian Taylor especially. He's the cornerback. He's got him one-on-one. He just misses the tackle. You got to come up and hold on, hope for help. Left of your screen, you're going to see 46 come up. You also see Winborn come out there, and that's not like Winborn. He doesn't miss many tackles, but Taylor got to come up, get in his face, square down.
18th career touchdown for Peerless Price. And his yardage continues to zoom. And Tennessee now leads it 9-0, and Hall makes it 10. 9:08 to go in the second quarter, and Peerless Price strikes again. 97 yards on the touchdown drive, capped off by Peerless Price. Score. Tennessee goes 97 yards on that scoring drive. There are 2 scoring drives, 5 yards. They started at the 5, and then they started at the 3. And that was capped off with Peerless Price getting the touchdown this time. And Jeff Hall booms it in the end zone. Lou Thomas will watch it sail through, and Vanderbilt will take the ball at its 20-yard line. So Tennessee has overcome some bad field position to take a 10-0 lead. John Ward, Bill Anderson, his partner. They've been together for 31 years in the broadcast booth on the Vol Network. He makes his final trip to Vanderbilt Stadium today. They had they did their pregame call-in show across the street at Centennial Park. They had thousands of Tennessee fans there. Here's Bill Anderson. Key thing about Bill Anderson, played in the 1967 Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, the first Super Bowl game ever played. Captain of the '56 team, which of course was undefeated. Well, Lou Thomas now in a tailback for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt pops it out with Thomas, and he can't get outside. Derek Edmonds drags him down. There's that speed. Dave, he just can't get to the corner on him.
Well, you can't, because what happens is Lou Thomas comes in the line, runs in there, finds a little bit of seam, can't get into it, then jumps outside, and you see 3 white shirts running down from the side. They've got such great lateral speed. They don't get knocked down. They play well at the point of attack and slide through the play well.
Edmonds, another one of the offensive guys, has played tailback some in Tennessee. Now they've switched him to defensive back, and that's been a good move for both he and Tennessee. Now Zolman, second down. 8 yards to go. He's done some good things today on offense. Not anything to show for it just yet. Zolman. Here comes the reverse. Hogan's breaks one tackle and just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. They forced him so wide, Dave, that it was just tough for him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, exactly right. The Rams are the outside pressure. He keeps the containment. He keeps the on that reverse. You'll see number 41 come into your screen. Just force him deep. Make him go around you. Doesn't make the tackle, but he makes him get so deep that he's got help with that great speed coming from the outside.
Jagranzo comes over to make the stop finally on Hogan's. But a good play by Ramsuru. Comes down out now because Tennessee. No, he stays in the game. I'm sorry. But Tennessee is going to its nickel package here on 3rd down and long.
Now you need Zolman to find someone across the middle, some little crossing pattern, something to get that first down yardage.
3rd down, swing past Thomas. Got to make the first guy miss. And he can't make the second one miss. He'll be short of a first down. As Thomas, the freshman out of Atlanta, can't get the ball for the first down to the 30-yard line, and Vanderbilt's got to punt it away again.
Well, so many times your defense sets the tone of the game, and that's what Tennessee's does. They set the tone. They come out here, they stop them, Their offense sputters a little bit. They wait for their offense to get cranked up, and the defense just kind of keeps them in this football game, keeps them cranked up.
Jermaine Copeland, he's back for Tennessee to get the punt away from Joe Webb, who's been very busy today in this first half. 5th punt, wobbly. Kick, and it's going to take a Tennessee bounce and be downed at about the 42-yard line. That's where Tennessee will take over. The best field position of the day for the Volunteers, just a 31-yard punt that time for Vanderbilt. Tennessee will have it, leading 10-0 when we come back. Back at Vanderbilt Stadium, Tennessee leads it by a score of 10-0. Jimmy Williams now is back at cornerback as he'll be flanked out wide to the left side trying to play defense. The corners have been a problem for Vanderbilt in this game. Here's fake reverse. Martin throwing long again for his favorite receiver. Peerless Price drops it.
Oh, that's not normal. Price had that ball. He had about a 10-yard lead on anybody. Fake reverse right here. Martin just throws the ball perfectly. And Price, I thought for a minute there he's looking back into the sun, but the sun is low enough where it was no factor. This is just a drop. Look at this. Nobody around him. All he's got to do is just put those hands out and catch it. Very uncharacteristic of Peerless Price.
Price today, 5 catches for 146. Unfortunately, 1 drop.
A big drop.
Peerless knows it.
Look at him, he's smiling. He's saying, I know it. Just give me another shot in there.
Terrific young man. Of course, he broke his ankle a couple of years ago in the spring game. There was a thought that his career might be over. He really battled back to become now one of the outstanding receivers in all of college football. Peerless Price. That was hard work. When you're a wide receiver and you break an ankle, that's tough.
It really is. Interesting quarterback comparison here as you watch Martin 6 of 10 for 151 yards. Things are going well for him. Zolman 4 of 13. Not a whole lot of success. Hit that one crossing pattern and picks up some good yardage with that. Zolman needs to get a little bit more consistency. Find that crossing pattern. Keep that offense going. Keep the defense off the field. T. Martin doing a pretty solid job. Bill, will you ever forget that South Carolina game when he completed all those passes in a row?
23 of them. Martin pressured. 1 miss. 2 misses. Martin this time cut short. Battles comes up and stops him on 3rd down, and so Tennessee is going to have to punt it back. Good stand that time by Vandy.
Yeah, interesting. Jamie Winborn missing tackles. Watch Jamie Winborn, 42. Missing tackles? That's not like him. But T. Martin, strong, 6'4", 6'3", I should say. Pretty good size. And Vanderbilt's getting pumped up on defense. The longer they stay in this football game, they're staying in it because of their defense. They need something to happen offensively. Big turnover, block, something like that.
Leverton, wobbly kick. Charlie, fair catches the ball. He had some room to run, but decided better of it. Takes the fair catch at the 13-yard line. 44-yard punt. Good one for Leverton. As no return on that one. A new source for sports on the internet. SECSports.com is now online. Each week we'll bring you previews or upcoming telecast, in-depth coverage of the SEC. For the inside scoop, log on to jpsports.com. Tennessee has dominated this series in recent years, winning the last 15, but early in the series it was Vanderbilt the dominant team until they brought a guy out of West Point by the name of Robert Nealon to direct the team back in 1924. Vandy going it have Greg Zollman now at a quarterback. Wallace had been warming up.
I thought we were going to see a switch there.
Zollman fired. Oh, that ball was in traffic, almost picked off, but Hogan's able to knock it down. And that was a dangerous pass.
Boy, that's tough when a defender flashes in front of you, but Hogan's just has to look that football in. There you see David Wallace, number 17. He's the backup quarterback.
You thought he was coming in.
Yeah, I really did, because he had his helmet on, chin strap was buckled. And it's interesting, you know, we talk about the difference in quarterback. Sometimes you'll switch a quarterback just to get a little bit of more of a little bit emotional lift. Zollman, the more mobile quarterback. Wallace, a little taller, looks downfield. He's got a little bit stronger arm than Zollman does.
Jeff Barnett, by the way, is back in center for Vanderbilt. McGrath, there's nowhere to go. McGrath pops it out. Really turned nothing into a couple, but McGrath frustrated. Just doesn't have the speed to get around this Tennessee defense. Nobody does.
Yeah, that's right. When you got to run at the point of attack, you've got to find that little seam. If you're going to turn and run east and west, which is from sideline to sideline, you got to have great speed to get outside there. And Tennessee runs the line so well. Big down here. They don't want to give the football back. 5 minutes left. Your defense has played just a marvelous first half of football. You've held Tennessee to 10 points, which is a real victory for this Vandy defense. So you don't want to give it back up.
Possession down here. Under 5 minutes to go. Zollman. Screen pass. Broken up. They were spying that. D'Angelo Lloyd. He saw it all the way and was able to knock down Carson.
Boy, he sure did. Lloyd sees this all the way along. He's number 99. Left of your screen. Watch him come along here. Now he sees the quarterback throw to the tight end. Look at him just slide along, make the tackle along the line. Great play by Lloyd, number 99.
Vanderbilt has had the ball 6 times. This will be the 6th punt as D'Angelo Lloyd, the sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina, makes the play. Tennessee's got such tremendous depth in that defensive line. They rotate everybody. Driving, spiral. Copeland at his 38. Copeland still on his feet into Vanderbilt territory to the 48-yard line. Good return for the senior from Harriman, Tennessee. And he gives Tennessee great position as they take it at the 48. Anthony Ford makes the stop. Our Nationwide Insurance Scholar Athlete of the Week is safety Jamie Watkins of the Vanderbilt Commodores. The junior from Hillsboro, Alabama, has a 3.03 GPA in human and organizational development. Congratulations to Jamie Watkins, our Nationwide Insurance Scholar Athlete of the Week. Watkins chomping in a bit with a chance to get in the game today. And now T. Martin brings Tennessee out. Watkins nickel back and also plays on special teams for Vanderbilt. Tennessee would like to tack one on here and running room. Travis Henry's got a convoy. Henry knocked down one man to beat, couldn't do it. Jimmy Williams saves the touchdown, but Henry rumbles inside the Vanderbilt 15-yard line.
Boy, what a great cut by Henry. Come along the line. He's going to cut back up inside. Watch this. Back up inside. You see the players get outside. He runs back against the grain. Now you see he runs right on by the big guys. And look how far the offensive line pushes along here. They just run them along the line. When you get caught on the front of those linemen, you can see them there pushing you 4 or 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Can't allow that to happen on defense.
That was Josh Tucker leading the way down there at the 10-yard line. All those big guys are running. Henry behind his blocks again, cuts it inside. Touchdown, Tennessee. 12 yards out, Travis Henry, and Tennessee marches crisply downfield to make it 16-0.
Boy, and you watch the block of Sean Bryson, the fullback. Outstanding block on the best tackler for Vanderbilt, Jamie Winborn. Watch the block right here. You're going to see him just knock out Winborn right there outside. Henry just runs off that little bit of a block and just scoots into the end zone. 7th touchdown of the year for Travis Henry. Bang, good block. Bryson doesn't get credit for any yards carried, but he sure gets a mark on the coach's grades. And Jeff Hall back at it again. Hall now has made 181 extra points in his career, making 182 as Hall boots it through. And Tennessee now, just like that, has taken control of this game, 17-0. You just can't keep giving Tennessee the ball after 3 and out. And you see Jeff Hall, 6th now in the NCAA in career points, just past Jeff Yeager. Tennessee, of course, is now
10-0 on the season, but there have been some close shaves so far this year for Tennessee. First game of the year at Syracuse. 4th down and a pass interference call against the Orangemen. That kept Tennessee alive in the game, and Jeff Hall able to boot home a 27-yard field goal as the Volunteers won at 34-33. Second game of the year, overtime, Florida. Hall connects on a 41-yarder. But the Gators had a chance to tie, but Carlisle Cooper missed, and Tennessee hangs on 2017. Then 2 weeks ago, the fumble of the year, Clint Sterner. Under 2 minutes to go, can't hang on to the ball, and Travis Henry marches in for the touchdown as Tennessee escapes with a 28-24 advantage. So now the top 25 in the Associated Press poll. Tennessee on top, Kansas State, UCLA, and Florida State the top 4. And you see SEC teams. Georgia lost today. Arkansas won yesterday. And, of course, Mississippi State, the big win against Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl the other night. And touchdown in the end zone by Jimmy Williams. In case you haven't heard, Tommy Tuberville today, after that Ole Miss loss, has accepted the head coaching job at Auburn. So that's too bad for the Ole Miss fans, but it's a tremendous challenge now for Tommy Tuberville. And David Cutcliffe, who is on the far left, the offensive coordinator of Tennessee, he's one of the first names that has surfaced as a possible replacement to Tommy Tuberville at Ole Miss. Cutcliffe, one of the bright minds in college football.
There's going to be a lot of coaching decisions in the next few weeks. Brad Scott, of course, left. Tommy West there at Clemson. So there's going to be a lot of decisions.
2 quick drive touchdown strikes for Tennessee has opened this thing up. Now let's see what Vanderbilt does here. Nothing on that play.
Well, now you see Tennessee coming off the line of scrimmage. Now they got control of this game. It's almost like they get to a point and they just turn it over to their defense.
Sean Ellis makes the play. There's the last-second field goal for Georgia Tech, the win against the Bulldogs. And Syracuse, that's good news for Tennessee in the BCS, makes Philip Fulmer smile as the Orangemen are winning against Miami 31-7. If Syracuse wins that game, that helps Tennessee's strength of schedule in the BCS. That's amazing. I mean, you've got to sit there and watch what not only your game, but what everybody else that you played before is doing. There's pass intercepted. Deion Grant. He steps in front of Adam Ditto, and Grant picks off his 4th pass this year.
Well, we talked about closing speed. When Grant plants that foot and he sees that pass coming, he just breaks on the football. Left to your screen. Watch number 7. He's going to slide out here, and look, he's just playing the quarterback side. Look at that speed to get to the outside. I was wondering there if Zolman was just trying to throw the football downfield, get rid of it. Because it didn't look like it was intended for anybody. It looked as if he just kind of threw the ball downfield. Look, Grant, come to it. Play the quarterback's eyes. Just
yeah, I said he was throwing for Ditto, but Ditto wasn't anywhere near that, was he? Hogan's was out there. Go ahead and dance, Deion. That's a good play. Well, let's see if the Volunteers now can deliver a knockout punch here. T-Mart's got room to run. He's going to pull it. Cuts inside Turner and dives to the 25-yard line. You know, he just freezes defenses, doesn't he, when he gets on that corner?
Well, when he gets out there, because he has that run-pass option, he comes out there, he throws well going to his left, and all of a sudden you'll see him. He's looking downfield, and it looks as if he's running full speed, and all those big linemen are trying to catch him. They're at half speed.
Martin, you talk about quarterbacks, he loves to write poetry. He's started writing when he was in 6th grade. He kept most of the poetry that he wrote when he was a youngster. He said during the summer, and anytime he feels like it, he'll sit down and write some prose and poetry, and he said it just relaxes him. Travis Stevens on the carry there. He's just turned out to be a remarkable man. Philip Fulmer has paid him tons of compliments about the fact he's the glue of this team and really the heart and soul. And that's a good compliment for your quarterback.
Well, it certainly is, especially when you're coming off a quarterback like Peyton Manning, and you're the next one in line. Everybody's going to compare you to Peyton Manning, and it's interesting. Philip Fulmer says he's a different type of quarterback. He's a lot more mobile, doesn't make the great decisions that Peyton Manning does, but he's a little bit younger. He's got some time to learn, and the last 4 or 5 games, he has been outstanding on his decision-making.
Pitch back to Stevens, trying to get to the corner, and he's run down by Matt Stewart. Nice play by the sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, as Stewart comes up. Stewart's had a good solid year for Vanderbilt. He's another one of those undersized guys a little bit. Only 215, but he showed good speed there.
Yes, he does. And Stewart, like Winborn, up there around 6 or 7 tackles, plays off the play now. Get those hands on, wrap them up, hold on, bring them down. Nice play. Just a sophomore. They've got a lot of young players on this Vanderbilt team. Their defense is playing strong. They really have. They've stopped them for the most part, other than the 2 big plays.
Jeff Hall's going to come out and try another field goal. Ryan Ald's trying to get a call here. The next call as he talks to the officials. Been a tough year for Vanderbilt. They've lost some key players throughout the course of this year. That they're young, and they think that if they can just withstand this season, then with a year of spring practice, let some of the young guys get going. Tennessee, of course, is in a situation now that the Volunteers could play their way into a national championship game. And Dave, they've come out very workmanlike today, and they've let the defense dominate.
Yes, they have. They came in this game, you know, the last couple games taking on Kentucky, I should say, with that big injury and that accident last week. They went right to business. They come in here, they're huge favorites, and they go right to business.
So now Tennessee has a chance next week to defend its SEC championship as the Volunteers, back-to-back Eastern Division champions, will take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Bulldogs making their first ever appearance in the SEC championship game. Last meeting was in 1995. Tennessee won that game. Tennessee, the all-time series against the Bulldogs, 23-15-1.
And the big question there, of course, is will James Johnson play? The great running back from Mississippi State. If he doesn't play, it puts a lot of pressure on their offense because he is just a marvelous runner.
And so when you look at James Johnson, he's got a separated shoulder as well that he hurt in the Ole Miss game the other night, and that groin. And he does have now an extra couple of days to heal it up. But if James Johnson can't go, it's going to be difficult for Mississippi State to win that game, you would think.
Well, they played well against Arkansas and only used him just a little bit. So.
Yeah, they did. They did win that game. And, of course, they didn't play much against Ole Miss, but when it got down to crunch time, they put old J.J. in there.
J.J. went in there.
Carry the mail. Here's Jeff Hall, the campus president of the FCA. And he is one of the guys that has helped organize prayer meetings for the team that everyone attends. And Jeff Hall's been very proud of that. This has been a very close-knit Tennessee team. Usually championship teams are. 42-yard field goals. Hall, plenty of leg. Crowd tells you he nails it. Jeff Hall gives Tennessee a 20-0 lead in this first half against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Philip Fulmer coming back to Vanderbilt. Grew up in Middle Tennessee. He said he used to go to Vanderbilt games and Tennessee State games when he was growing up. Then, of course, recruited and came to Tennessee. That's Fulmer on the left, number 65, an offensive guard. Played on championship teams at Tennessee. And then he was an assistant coach at Vanderbilt in 1979. Eerie because he had to come back to Neyland Stadium to coach against the Volunteers. And now Fulmer, in fact, in that game, they had formed the T. They were coming out of the East stands that time. The locker room was over there. And so the Vanderbilt team in that game, just to kind of spice up the rivalry, ran through the T, which just incensed the Tennessee fans. Fulmer said he didn't do it. He wouldn't run through the T the wrong way. He went around the T. The Vanderbilt players did. They went right through the T. That's just part of what has made this series so special down through the years. And you see the tremendous job that Fulmer has done here. Winningest active coach, along with Joe Paterno and Steve Spurrier. And all he does is win 10 games every year.
Well, and interesting in talking with him this week, he said this is his most satisfying season. He is, losing Peyton Manning, losing all the great stars that he had, Leonard Little and those, and then to come back and have a year like this, it's got to be rewarding.
Hall boots it deep. Williams says, we're not going to try that one. We'll take it at the 20 and see if we can get something done in the last 55 seconds of the first half. No returns on the kicks today by Jeff Hall, as Hall's had 4 of them after the 2 touchdowns and the 2 field goals. 20-0. Tennessee in front, and Greg Zollman back out again. Tough kid, separated his shoulder in the Duke game. Skipped Florida, but came back and played against Kentucky. You see his numbers today, though. Had a couple of drops early in the game that really might have changed the whole complexion of this one.
And this Tennessee defense changes the entire offensive scheme. Looking to dump the ball off on those little screens, not looking for those crossing patterns, looking for patterns that take very little time. Running the football.
McGrath, nothing there. Joe Granzo rolls him up in the backfield. Check that, Darwin Walker, 58. Walker makes the play. Walker, a guy who transferred into Tennessee out of NC State, just said he was happy with the move, and it's paid off for him.
Well, it's good move by Walker. Slide the line, look for the tackle, get those arms on. You see the way he wraps in there? Now you just keep on pulling, wait for help. But the one thing you don't do is let go. You just keep on holding on. Zolman needs to go downfield. He needs to get something happen. You know, this is the time when you've got 32 seconds. You throw the ball deep. Try to see if maybe you can get a slip or a broken defensive coverage or something by the defense. Make something happen. Go in on a positive note. They're just letting the clock roll down, though.
Zolman and Jared McGrath are roommates, so they've had a chance to work together a lot. McGrath on the day, 10 carries, now 35 yards.
He's just letting the clock run down. You see him standing right there.
They'll kneel down, and Vanderbilt says, let's go in the locker room and regroup. Vanderbilt trailed only by 3 at the end of the first quarter, but the Commodores get overwhelmed by Tennessee in the second quarter. Tennessee going to the locker room leading 20-0. David Logan is downstairs with Philip Fulmer.
All right, Coach, first of all, it was a dogfight in the first period. You knew that was coming, but in the second period, you start to pull away a little bit.
Pulled away a little bit. Actually should have had more points than we have, but hopefully we'll come out and pick up where we left off in the second quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Our score here in Vandy, Tennessee 20, Vanderbilt nothing. Our halftime show is coming up with highlights and stats, and a look back at last year's SEC championship game and much more.
Let's talk about this game. Quick strikes for Tennessee, and Vanderbilt, again, they haven't been able to keep the ball away from them.
Yeah, Vandy really played a tight game in the first part of the first quarter, but then this play really broke it out. Peerless Price, but just poor tackling by Vanderbilt, and Price runs 68 yards for a score, and all of a sudden the avalanche starts to come for Tennessee.
That kept off a 97-yard drive as Tennessee started to take control. Then they started pounding them.
Yeah, then they can pound them with Henry up the middle, little misdirection. Follows a good block by Bryson right up the gut. And again, the race is on, and that's why they lead 20-0.
It was 3-0 at the end of one, and then Tennessee outscores them 17-0 in the second. Here's our Pizza Hut halftime stats, and Vanderbilt not getting much done on offense.
Well, they're not getting much done offensively, either rushing or passing the football. When they got that one opportunity, it might have given them a little bit of life, Bob, but they came away and didn't get any points from it.
Let's talk about Rose Rewinds. What's going to happen in the second half?
Well, a lot of things are going to happen. First of all, if you're Tennessee, you just want to keep pounding them. Just keep on pounding that football in there. Don't make any mistakes. They played error-free football in the first period. If you're Vanderbilt, you're saying, hey, you got to make something happen. Something's got to happen good. And 2, don't give up, because you never want that to happen to a team.
Second half coming up. Vanderbilt will have the ball to start things second half, but down 20-0 for the top-ranked Volunteers. Holiday time in Tennessee's capital city, Nashville. And Tennessee playing football here at Vanderbilt Stadium, and the Volunteers, #1 in the country, leading at halftime 20-0. Bob Kessling, Dave Rowe, David Logan, along with our director Ken Dennis and producer Rob Reichley. Greg Zolman will get the first chance to get Vandy on the board here as we begin things in the third quarter. Steve Crosby, who has spent, of course, a big part of his career in pro football, now talking with Zolman. We cooked dinner for Zolman and the guys last night. So.
Had him over for Turkey Day. Of course, Zolman not experienced a lot of success in that first half of football. Only 4 completions on 16 attempts. Really, other than that one drive, they just have not been able to put it together. They've been trying to dump those little short passes. I just think he needs to go downfield a little bit more. You see the results of the first half possessions, Bob, other than that one drive where they went 40 yards, and then they had a field goal try, and of course they come up dry on it and have to punt on the 4th down.
Yep, 6 punts and an interception in your first 7 possessions. That's not going to win many games. Jeff Hall to kick off. He's been booting him through the end zone all day long. That one will be fielded by Williams, and he's going to bring it out. Williams tripped up and dropped before he gets to the 20. There's that speed again. Tennessee gets terrific coverage. Derek Edmonds down, leading the way, along with Andre James, freshman out of Harmony, North Carolina. Zolman brings him out.
Well, now you see the offensive changes that they've made. The defense is reacting, of course, to what the plays are, but you'll see what the coaching staff of Vanderbilt thinks might work. Maybe a little bit more on that crossing pattern, but Tennessee with that great speed, reading the quarterback's eyes, just reacting so quickly to the football, especially Deion Grant, that's free safety.
First play, second half, and they're going to try McGrath up the middle. Ramseur meets him in the hole and knocks him back along with Westmoreland. And Judd Granzo is at the bottom of the pile. Tennessee is going to play, Dave, 10, sometimes 12 defensive linemen. They rotate them. They keep everybody fresh. And it's amazing that you got that much depth. A lot of teams are just hoping to get 5 healthy guys out there.
Well, what that does is it keeps a lot of players involved in the game. They can stay active. They know they're going to get some snaps. They know they're going to get some plays. And when they get a chance to get in there, they want to impress the defensive coaches.
2-yard pickup on first down. Zolman's got time. Got his man. What a hit. Let's say, is that a fumble or not? Zolman drops it. Ramseur picks it up and runs it in. And we're waiting for a sign. They're going to say the pass is incomplete.
Oh, no. Boy.
They're going to say the pass was incomplete. The officials kept looking at each other. And finally, the pass was ruled incomplete.
Boy,
Don Shanks, the field judge, said he didn't catch it.
Boy, Westmoreland, 42, is going to come across on that crossing pattern. And I mean, you talk about head snap, whiplash.
Everett Robertson got pounded. Robinson didn't even see it coming.
Boy. And they show it, of course, on the end zone camera, and you hear the reaction of the Tennessee fans. Of course, we don't know what it is. The official standing there. Now, what they're asking is, did he have possession? Did he have it down on the ground? If he did, you can see they're talking about it. And that's the proper thing to see. What did you see? What did you see? What did you see?
Ron Gilbert. Let's see what the call is. Touchdown.
Bob, it's going to be on the left of the screen. See if he catches it. Several things now. Does he have possession? There, yes, definitely. Has possession. Ball was a little bit up in the top of his chest. I think that's what they were hoping, that he was bobbling the football, but from that angle, it looked like a catch. Clear the feet down, running.
Well, Woody's not happy about that. He saw it ruled incomplete. Now it's a touchdown, and it's 26-0 Tennessee. What a hit by Eric Westmoreland. And Jeff Hall now on to attempt the extra point. And he boots it down the middle again. Under a minute to play. Gone in this third quarter, and Tennessee's already on the board. 56 seconds into the third quarter, and Ramseur runs it in for a touchdown and runs Tennessee to a 27-0 lead. Tennessee with the fumble recovery and the touchdown, and Hall will boot it again. Williams this time will stay in the end zone. So the Commodores are taking it at the 20-yard line.
Boy, you don't see a lot of times you don't see those wide receivers get up from a hit like that. Right to left on your screen, crossing pattern, but not deep enough, not underneath the linebackers, in front of linebackers, right there. Catch. You know, that shows a little bit.
I'm not sure he caught
different.
That one.
You see, I thought the ball was coming up the top of his chest. That angle shows that maybe he didn't have possession of. Maybe that ball was a little bit loose.
Well, they talked about it, but Westmoreland really laid the leather to him, didn't he?
Oh, boy. He's saying, I'm going to get some publicity, too. All you hear is Al Wilson and Raynoch Thompson, and they're great. Westmoreland had a big-time hit on that play.
Zolman to pass. Vandy down 27-0. Now Zolman going to run. Lots of green pasture there, and he slides down at the 37-yard line on the turf. And, of course, this will be the last game Vanderbilt will play on this artificial surface. Next year they go to real grass. Zolman goes for 17.
Well, that was a nice scramble. He looked downfield, had good coverage, saw his offensive lineman, given a little bit of time, found that little bit of seam, and burst through it for that first down yardage. That's what he needed to do earlier in this game.
You look around the stadium, you think it's a Tennessee home game. I mean, there's orange everywhere. Just a couple of small pockets of Vanderbilt fans. Jared McGrath hit in the backfield. Granzo again comes up to make the play. And Granzo, a freshman out of Granada Hills, California, has done a good job. And I'm sure, Dave, this is a disappointing sight for Vanderbilt supporters because what do you got to think? 70% of the fans in orange today?
Yeah, there's a lot of them here. A lot of people that don't get the chance to see Tennessee in Knoxville. Out here, you get a chance to buy some good tickets and to come out and watch the
Woody Woodenhofer made a good point. He said, well, at least the tickets are sold and the stadium is full. That's one positive. The other thing is it's up to us to win some games and get black and gold in the stadium again.
Exactly right.
Second down. Zolman overshoots his man. Easy pass and just lofted it. It was over the head of Carson. Try to put a little too much touch on that one.
Well, one of the things that's happening now is Tennessee's line is coming off the football so hard. You know, when you get a 27-point lead, you can play. It changes just the play of the defensive lineman. You're not playing that hit, hold, Purdue. You're just flying off the football.
Tennessee rotating a lot of young guys in there, too. Vanderbilt 2 of 8 on third down conversions.
This is where Tennessee puts a lot of pressure on you, coming on you.
Now just blitzing the down guys. They're throwing long. Nobody out there, and that one's going to be picked off. Intercepted again. Dwayne Goodrich makes the interception. Pass was intended for Anthony Jones, nowhere near. And Goodrich picks off his third pass of the season and his 9th in his career.
And that's just throwing the ball. That's not throwing to a man. There's nobody open on this play. That's just throwing the ball, looking long, trying to make something happen, forcing the ball. Because look at this. That's a perfect pass if number 23 Goodrich was the wide receiver, but he's not.
Well, it's as good as a punt, actually, though, when you look at it that way. The positive side for Vanderbilt. But there's the 3 turnovers. And Tennessee has been able to capitalize on 2 of those for scores. We'll see what they do here on this possession. First time Tennessee's had the ball third quarter, and they go up the middle to the fullback. They just give it to Bryson a couple of times just to keep him happy, and also, you know, he's been able to break those little trap plays up the middle. There's Dwayne Goodrich, recruited out of Illinois, one of the top defensive players in that state. And now Steve Crosby's over talking to his quarterbacks. You know, you don't want them to lose their confidence in a game like this, too.
No, they're both young. They're both young quarterbacks. They've got a lot of future ahead of them. They really feel they were really surprised at the way Zolman reacted in preseason and came on and played well. He's the third-team quarterback as they started the season, but he really came on and played well.
Stetter stepping out across the 30-yard line is Travis Henry. Henry now getting close to 100 yards today and 800 yards on the season. In fact, he's now over 100 yards. 105 for Travis Henry today. Henry keeps cranking out those 100-yard games.
You know, Bob, you talk about what made this Tennessee team. I think the offensive line is really what made this Tennessee team. Moving Spencer Riley in from tackle into center. Cozy Coleman from tackle over to guard. Jarvis Rito moving from left to right. And they've just solidified this offensive line.
Martin going to throw it this time. Got a lot of room out there. Cedric Wilson working against Jimmy Williams, and they knock him out of bounds. But a first down for Tennessee out to the 48-yard line. 14 yards on that pitch and catch. Henry now with 4 100-yard rushing games this season. His best 197. Then you see T. Martin just consistently gets it done.
Yeah. We talked about those last 4 games. Ever since about that South Carolina game when he had that sequence of, 23 in a row.
His breakthrough game. Yeah, actually, over the 2 games, he completed 24 in a row, the NCAA record.
I didn't think he was going to miss that day. It was amazing.
And the one that was dropped was right in the hands of David Martin. He probably should have caught that. Ryan Alls makes the stop that time on Henry as he tries to bowl straight ahead. Henry's a guy that when he first came to Tennessee was banged up and hurt. Was disappointed he wasn't playing. He was heavily recruited out of Florida. Set all kinds of records down there as a high school player. But he stayed with it. Jamal Lewis emerged as a star last year. He sat on the sidelines. And now this year when he gets a chance to play, he's done that and more. Over 100 yards today, 107.
Well, of course, when Tennessee lost Jamal Lewis, everybody said, oh, well, there goes their season. But he was just one of 11 players. The other 10 said, hey, we think we can just keep on playing. And poor Henry came in and played well.
Martin just bides his time and throws it out of bounds. Remember, they have another tailback, Dominic Stevenson. And he was probably one of the most impressive one they had in the spring. They moved him to linebacker. So got a lot of depth at running back in Tennessee.
Yep. Really do. When things go good, they go real good.
Now Vanderbilt's defense, Dave, trying to stop them here on third down. And Tennessee has the ball right at midfield.
Well, their defense has played hard. Vanderbilt has answered. They had a couple opportunities, especially in that first quarter. If they could have gotten that 3 points, that might have changed the complexion of this football game. But as a defense, you start to lose a little bit of your zing. You're out there playing hard. You need positive things to happen. You need to be taken off the field and rested a little bit. Let your offense have the ball.
No backs in the backfield this time. 5 wideouts for Tennessee, and Martin going to throw the slip screen, and that one's broken up. Boy, Peerless Price was the intended receiver, but Lurch just came up and almost had clear sailing for a score.
Boy, if Lercius doesn't get his hand on this football or come up inside and break it, left of your screen, you're going to see it's a quick pass outside because T. Martin knows he's getting pressure from the right. Look at Lercius come up in there and just kind of get his arm up in the football and just kind of like deflect it or deflect to get the hand in the face.
T. Martin's had a couple almost intercepted. 4th down, David Leverton on for his 5th punt of the day. And Charlie is back at the 10-yard line. Leverton booms it, driving spiral at the 10. And Charlie tripped up Cedric Wilson downfield. The wide receiver makes the play. And so Vanderbilt gets it back. Tennessee, the #1 team in the country, rolling 27-0. $27-0. Tennessee leading with 10-12 to go. Greg Zollman bringing them out. Vanderbilt looking for some positive things to happen offensively against this tough Tennessee defense. Zollman 5 of 19, only 26 yards. Zollman cranks it, got his man. Staying on his feet though is Carson. Good effort that time by Carson. But with all of that, he only picked up 2 yards.
Well, he only picks up 2 yards because the defense closes so quickly on this Tennessee defense. They play swarm defense. Bang, make the first hit. He stays on his feet. When he turns around, he's got 3 more white shirts moving towards him.
Jug Granzo and number 23, Goodrich, making the play. Woody Woodenhofer still thinks it can get done here at Vanderbilt. He's got a good recruiting class started. He thinks he's got a nucleus of young players here to compete with teams like Tennessee. But so far today, his Commodore has been overwhelmed by Tennessee. Fred White knocks Thomas out of bounds, short of the 1st down, and now another 3rd down conversion.
Well, you start to think, what will happen good for Vanderbilt? They need some kind of a play to happen to give them a spark, something like a broken tackle, a missed assignment by Tennessee that allow them to get some kind of a spark to get some action, get back in this football game.
Dave, if you're not moving the chains and you're not keeping Tennessee off the field, you're not going to beat them.
No, you're exactly right.
Vandy hadn't done that today.
Well, it's like we talked about earlier. It's almost as if Tennessee's offense turns it over to the defense, and right now they're saying, Vanderbilt, you can't score 27 or 28 points on us. We turn it over to our defense, and here come the big guys.
Vandy's only completed 2 3rd down conversions, make that 3 now. Good catch over the middle. O.J. Fleming right in front of Deion Grant, and so Vanderbilt now maintains possession.
And that was a good play. Good strike right here. Watch Zollman back in the pocket. He's got his tight end coming off a corner, just right inside the middle of the zone. That's what you want to do. You want to hit those crossing patterns if you're going to hit them at that 12 to 15-yard marker.
Zollman beat out earlier in the season by David Wallace, then got his chance to play in the Georgia game, and he admitted to us yesterday he was disappointed when he wound up 3rd on the depth chart at quarterback to start this season. But he shows that if you stay with it, you hang in there, you're finally going to get a chance, and he has done very well since then. 1st down, he's going to keep it and run out of bounds. Just nobody open. Covers play that time by Tennessee. Just couldn't find anybody. He had Hogan's downfield, but couldn't figure out a way to get him the ball.
Well, Tennessee runs well with the receivers. Man-to-man coverage. They had a little zone in the center just to help out. Zollman was unable to pick up anybody as he rolls out. I like to see him roll out. I think he's a lot more effective when he rolls out there and gets outside that pocket pressure.
Dave, you know, you talk about how you learn from a defeat. Tennessee was pushed around pretty good by Nebraska last year in the Orange Bowl game, and since then Tennessee just has made it a point to be more physical and tougher in its work. Zollman loses the snap, stays with it, and fires Hogan's. Did he get it? And they say he did. Tavares Hogan's makes the reception, and it'll be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Bob. Everybody that talks about Tennessee talks about how much more physical they are. This is a good play by Zollman to pick up that football and still have just the kind of a collection of thought to look downfield and get a pass completion. Here's Ellis coming off the football right here. He's just rolling over him. Wow.
Find him had to sit out the 1st half, and that time got put on his back by Sean Ellis. Ellis, a guy involved in a serious car wreck about a year ago or so. Didn't know if he was going to be able to play again. Got a hip injury, and Ellis has done a terrific job of battling back through the injury and the rehab and playing. Zollman has time. Did he get his man? Yeah, he did. Anthony jumped. No, they say he dropped it now.
That ball was up in the air. Looked there for a couple minutes. When he came across, when Jones comes across on the play, he has the ball for a second, then it gets ripped out. Watch the quarterback pressure here. Last second, he gets a little bit of pressure there by Walker. Now look at this. He's got the ball there, and there's the ball still up in the air. You see it kind of flopping around right there. Almost comes down.
Goodrich made another play, knocked that one out of there again. He's made a couple of swipes today, preventing.
Oh, look at the ball. Look at the ball.
Still bopping around, huh? Here's Joe Webb. He's been very busy today for Vanderbilt. Boy, he launches that one. Copeland inside the 10, pulls it down. Copeland lost the ball out of bounds to the 8. Tell you what, Tennessee's had this thing going this year. They have fumbled 21 times, but they've gotten everyone back but 9. We'll be back after word from your local SEC station. Tennessee is 10-0 on the season. One thing they haven't done, thrown a shutout defensively this year. But they're doing it right now, leading 27-0 as the Volunteers have it backed up again. Travis Stevens picks up a couple on first down. Jamie Winborn makes the stop for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Winborn sliding along the line. He hasn't quit. They've got 18 tackles between the linebackers. They're playing well. Watch this. Come up, slide, play across the center's place, get square in a hole, make the tackle, get over there. Good cut that time. Just notice that into the hole and then just came back outside by the running back.
Stevens down 10 yards on the ground. Vanderbilt's really been battling that Tennessee offensive line, spearheaded by Spencer Riley, who has emerged as one of the best centers in this league. It's a league that really has some good centers, and Riley is one of them. And Stevens trips as he gets across the 15. He'll be about a yard short, it looks like, of a first down. Winborn sticks his hand out and drops the running back out of Clarksville.
Well, of course, Woody Woodenhofer told us their problem has been giving up big plays, and they have given up big plays today. You see the 2 runs totaling 59 yards, and then those 2 passes to Peerless Price, the fumble recovery, of course, for the touchdown. Those are 5 big plays.
Philip Fulmer, Woody Woodenhofer matching wits today, and Fulmer's had the advantage of all the big plays and a swarming defense. They give him the first down, so it's 1st and 10 Tennessee. It was close on the measurement, but they get it. And now Tennessee going to work again. Stevens pops outside and is knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Georgia Tech, late field goal, knocks off Georgia. And that battle between the hedges, Syracuse at halftime against Miami of Florida. Penn State, they knock off Michigan State. And then, of course, in overtime, North Carolina beats NC State 37-34. Virginia leading Virginia Tech. Well, that's a final now, 36-32, the final. The Cavaliers take it. Of course, yesterday, it was Arkansas beating LSU. And then on Thursday night in the SEC, the Egg Bowl, as Mississippi State wins its way to the SEC championship game, beating Ole Miss. Bryson. No, check that. Philip Crosby now in at fullback, and Crosby picks up a couple.
Yeah,
close to the first down.
A lot of players getting a chance to play. Of course, Crosby getting one of those juniors, just third on the depth chart. Doesn't get a whole lot of opportunity, but getting a chance to play in a game like this, when you get a lead like this, you want to get a lot of players. You think about trying not to get players hurt. You can't play safe, but you can play a little bit conservative.
Crosby and Bartholomew are the other 2 fullbacks. They're basically just blocking backs. They'll get the ball once in a while, but Bryson is really the triple threat weapon for Tennessee. Pitch back. Stevens cuts it up. Tennessee now just trying to run the clock. The ball out to the 33-yard line. Jamie Winborn makes the stop for Vanderbilt. Vandy, of course, has had a problem this year trying to replace those great linebackers they had last year. Jamie Duncan, Anthony Jordan, Carlton Hall. They've got 3 young ones in there, sophomores and freshmen, but you just can't teach experience.
Well, you lose 6 players to the NFL, and that's what Vanderbilt did last year. And their defense kept them in football games last year, made them very, very competitive.
2nd down and 6 yards to go, Tennessee. Stevens, good cut, gets hammered in the hole and falls forward for a couple. Joel Crosby hitting first, and then Lamont Turner plants him. The announcers for the game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Bob Kessling, Dave Rowe, David Logan with you, as Tennessee trying to crunch the clock now. 7th play of this drive. Under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Bob and I looked down on stats, and Jamie Winborn's got 10 tackles so far, so he's been real active as a linebacker.
tell you what, he's a warrior.
Yeah.
Out pattern, complete. Peerless Price thrown out of bounds by Jimmy Williams.
And Williams is a warrior too. You know, when you start talking about players that can go two ways, and that's what Jimmy Williams does. A lot of thought to put him back to offense.
Third down, 3rd and 10. Oh, check that first down, excuse me. Price on the reception. And so Price, who has really come on strong here at the end of the season, had 10 catches against South Carolina, then 6 against UAB, 5 and 3 the last 2, and today having another big day.
Oh, Mo, where'd they go?
Goes out, and Price has got it inside the 30-yard line.
Boy, and Brian Taylor just completely lost him. He had no idea where he was. He thought he was breaking back towards the middle. He turned his back on the wide receivers. Watch 46, left of your screen at the top. He's going inside. Look where the receiver is. He had no idea. When you turn your back, you have no idea. See where he turns his back right there, he loses him. And you see what Peerless Price, it's been a priceless day, I think you'd say, huh?
There you go. That's a good one. 7 for 181 for Peerless Price. What a day he's having. You deserve a break right now, Peerless.
Boy, look at that. Look at that. 181 yards. You know, I think Todd Manhinnett, our associate producer, could have caught that one. Well, maybe. I might be stretching a little bit.
Cut back, and Stevens has his pins knocked out from under him. Peerless Price, 181 yards, his best of the season to date. And he's coming back in. He was played at Dayton Meadowdale, and of course had a teammate on the team from that Meadowdale team, Andy McCullough, who also came to Tennessee. And McCullough now in the NFL. So can you imagine a high school team with 2 receivers like Andy McCullough and Peerless Price?
Now, weren't you from Dayton too?
Yeah, I'm a Dayton guy.
Dayton Dragons.
We didn't Fairmont.
Oh, excuse me, Fairmont. Excuse me.
We didn't play Meadowdale. I think they were scared of us. I doubt that. Under 4 minutes to go. Oh, big hole that time. Stevens, boy, he almost broke that one. Lamont Turner might have saved a touchdown on that.
Well, you know what you want your offense to do right now is to play full speed. Don't try to kind of coast in this situation. If you're going to make changes, you go to your second team, third team, bring those players in, switch them around. But you ask everybody to play at full speed, because when you don't play at full speed, you get hurt.
Vanderbilt waiting for something good to happen, but Tennessee just methodically marching downfield. Now a 3rd down.
3rd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Oh, and they see it.
Barton slips it out. Got his man out there. Cedric Wilson can't stay in bounds and is knocked out. So it'll be 4th down. Let's see what Tennessee's going to do here.
Bob, that was really interesting that time. T. Martin changed the snap count and saw the blitz.
Fulmer said, let's go for it.
Well, again, you're practicing. You're getting ready for the SEC championship game. You know you're going to get a huge bowl game, so you go for it. You practice these situations for when you have to do it.
Could this be a BCS 4th down and 5? Tennessee 5 of 7 on 4th down conversions this year, so they've been very good at that.
Going out of shotgun, that gives T. Martin a lot more time.
Price in motion. He's looking for Price, and he catches. It was behind him, and somehow that's David Martin, 87. David Martin hung on to the ball, but he's short of the 1st down. What a catch by David Martin.
Bob, he catches this in his ear hole. Watch this. Behind his back. Look at this catch. Pulls it into his shoulder. Tries to get it over. What a tremendous catch.
Matt Stewart made the play on it.
Gosh, that is unbelievable.
David Martin with the catch.
You know, a lot of these players use those aquatic gloves. And you see he has the white gloves on. And it just seems like that ball just sticks to those hands.
He's been bothered with some hamstring problems. That's his 3rd catch of the year, but he was about a yard short of the 1st down. So Vanderbilt takes over. The out pass to Elliott Carson. And he skips out of bounds after a short pickup. Carson's been one of his favorite targets today. The big sophomore out of Lebanon, Tennessee.
Well, you just feel from the Vanderbilt offensive scheme that they thought they knew they were going to get a lot of pressure. So they're looking for a lot of short patterns.
The long patterns in this game for Vanderbilt have been in the 12 to 15-yard range, looking a lot to their tight end, the backs out of the backfield, dumping the football in those short screens.
48 yards today for Zolman. 9 completions. Goes the out. That one's way overshot as he tried to get to O.J. Fleming. Covered out on the flat by Steve Johnson. So here we are again, Dave. 3rd down and long.
Yeah, 3rd down and long. It's another tough situation. Zolman been under pressure in a couple of these, and a couple of these thrown up for grabs. I'm really surprised that didn't try to bring David Wallace in here, give him a little bit of spark, because not that Zolman's played that badly, but he has not been able to just to get that spark going on offense. But again, very young player, just a freshman.
When you can't get 4 or 5 yards on 1st down, it just makes it very difficult for you. And Vandy just has not been able to do that consistently today. 3rd down. Long. Zolman. Pressure. He's going to be sacked. Sacked by Darwin Walker. Just relentless Tennessee pressure. And the Volunteers are going to force Vandy to punt it one more time.
And we talked about Walker and his play. He really came in here, solidified this defense. He had 5 sacks coming into this. This is his 6th sack. You can just see good speed right there. Once he gets him in the grasp, you're not getting away from him.
29 sacks on the year for this Tennessee defense. And now Webb is in his own end zone again to punt it away. Off the side of his foot.
They need a roll on this one.
It's a pretty good roll. It's going to be picked up by Peerless Price. And he is planted. Good coverage that time. Tyler Ensiger downfield for Vanderbilt. 40-yard punt, 4-yard return. Tennessee's defense has been the story of the day.
Well, it has been. There you see Goodrich with an outstanding play. That was just a whisker from going for Vanderbilt. Of course, then big hit there by Westmoreland in the hole, just stuffed him in the hole. And then again, Westmoreland on that, remember on the crossing pattern when he just leveled, bang, right there. The ball comes out. Tennessee picks it up, runs it in for a score.
Ramsey with the touchdown. Tennessee, and Deion Grant, of course, has an interception as well. Tennessee has just done a very workmanlike effort today. Henry back into tailback, tripped up as he gets to the 50, and Jamie Winborn, he's not going to give up, makes another big play.
No, Winborn's one of those players. He's one of those players that you build your team around. Young guy, freshman, just Woody Woodenhofer said, I love his work ethics. I love the way he came in here. Tough situation, got his grades together, and he's really proud of them.
Woody Woodenhofer. He is determined to build this program. Said he loves Nashville, loves being here. But I think today proves how far he has to take this program to compete in the SEC. Henry pulls his way to the 45-yard line. Dave, rebuilding is never easy, and of course it's difficult at a place like Vanderbilt. But you see, everybody was pointing to Northwestern a couple of years ago. Well, Northwestern, look what they did. They won the Big Ten. But it's tough to stay there.
Well, it is, because the academic standards are so high, and you've got players that need to compete on that level in the classroom, and then you talk about competing on the football field, and it's tough because there's probably a couple hundred players in the nation that play at this level of football, the SEC level of football, and you need your share of them to compete.
3rd and short. Tennessee needs a couple here. T. Martin out and dropped for a loss. There's Winborn again.
Guess who? I was just going to say, guess who? Winborn.
If he's not the SEC Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts today, I don't know who should be.
Well, he just runs the line so well, puts his head down, stays square. Now you see him right there playing across the face. Now it's trying to stay square. You see how nice he stays square in there? That's what you want to do. Don't turn your shoulders and run. And he's still got a little bit of emotion. He says, we're still playing hard out here.
So Mr. Winborn's a football player.
Yeah.
And the quarter now winds down. But it's been, again, all Tennessee. T. Martin and the Volunteers rolling toward victory number 11 and a perfect season. We take it to the 4th. Tennessee 27-7. Beautiful night in November here in Nashville. And it's been a pretty night for Tennessee. 27-0 for the top-ranked Volunteers. They'll punt it away, though, to start things in the 4th quarter. David Leverton to kick it. Vandy pressure, but he gets it off and booms a high floating kick. Charlie takes it at his own 18-yard line and negative return yards again. as Tennessee able to cover the punt. Derek Edmonds has done a good job on special teams all day long and does it again there. 33-yard kick, 5-yard return. Our Duckhead stats through 3 quarters of play.
Well, it's incredible. You look at the yards. Vanderbilt are able to get nothing on offense. 43 yards rushing, 48 passing, just no consistency there. And for Tennessee, it's now grinded out time. Look at that total yards, 356 yards. They're punching it.
Vanderbilt's only been shut out once this year. That was in the opener against Mississippi State. But they haven't been able to get any points on the board here. Handoff. Jared McGrath tripped up by Eric Westmoreland. Westmoreland is another guy who's battled through some knee injuries, some other bumps and bruises, and just keeps fighting back.
Well, just slides along, just makes plays all over the place. You know, just solidifies his spot, slides along there, just plays really well.
32 yards. Rodney Williams, of course, had earned a starting job at Vanderbilt. You see his total 608, but he has been slow the last couple of games and has not played today. He told us yesterday that he wanted to play, had a shot at the Vanderbilt freshman rushing mark, but he's not going to get it. Hogan drops it, and then it's dropped by Deion Grant. 7 and 7. Neither one could hang on. Oh, that's Fred White, number 2. Neither one could hang on to the hot potato as Hogan's had it. And then Fred White had it. Neither one could hold it.
Watch what happens on this play. White's got it right there. Look, it's in his hand, right? He just gets the football. Hogan's does a pretty good job there ripping the ball out right in there. He misses it there. Now watch him get that hand in there and just pull that ball out of there.
Both of them ought to have caught it. Neither one did.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
And Zolman, who had a productive first quarter, but their stats have gone down since. 3rd down again and long. Zolman going to air it out, and that pass is complete. Anthony Jones makes the catch. Derek Edmond, or Dwayne Goodrich makes the stop, but not before Anthony Jones gets a first down.
Well, Anthony Jones is one of those freshmen that they're kind of high on here in Vanderbilt. It's a little square in right here. He's going to plant now, come across, but watch this. He catches it. It's actually thrown a little bit behind him, but he does a nice job getting that football in there.
I think he's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Anthony Jones, he's a freshman, needs some exposure and some seasoning. 25 yards on that pass by Zolman, one of his best completions of the day. Gives Vandy a first down at the 42-yard line. McGrath again runs into his line, and now he pops it outside. Got some room to run. Jared McGrath takes it down to the 35-yard line. Austin Kemp finally makes the stop, but not before McGrath picks up good yardage.
Well, what happened that time is Tennessee really overran the play. They're going to go. He's going to go to the right-hand side now. You'll see the Tennessee white shirts right there coming in. Now they get in too tight. That allows McGrath to get back to the outside. And once he gets to the outside, he picks up a couple nice blocks and makes a nice run out of the play. This is Vanderbilt's best drive so far.
McGrath had 100 yards against Florida a couple of weeks ago. Trying to get to 100 yards again today. First down, 10 to go, Vanderbilt. Zolman, screen pass. And it's broken up, intended for McGrath. Is there a flag down? A late flag does come in. There was contact.
That flag was thrown on the line of scrimmage. I wondered if it was on the release of the wide receiver downfield, because it's thrown way out here where the wide receiver comes off the line of scrimmage.
Offside. On the defense.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Well, sometimes you don't look in at that football and you line up on one of those wide receivers, and you can line up off sides.
First penalty this half on either side. So it's really been a pretty well played game from a mistake standpoint. See Austin Kemp, Jeff Coleman anchoring this Tennessee front. Kemp, a sophomore right here from Brentwood. Middle Tennessee guy, as is a lot of the players in this Tennessee team. McGrath stumbling and finally pinned. Darwin Walker makes the tackle. Let's go downstairs now to David Logan.
All right, Bob, this is the guy standing to my left. Definitely the Commodores could use him this evening. Fred Vincent, I know this has been tough for you to have to sit here and to watch this, especially this being your last game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's real hard just to, to be out here to watch these guys out here. Knowing that I can't be out there because of the injury. It just hurts me deep down inside not to be able to be out there.
Well, you know, when you look at this team, you said to me off camera, this score is not a reflection of what this team is all about. You said they're going to be fine for the future.
No, it's not. This team is a lot better than what it is.
Fred White with the interception. Zolman saves a touchdown. Fred White picks it off. Zolman dragged him down from behind. Pass was intended for Everett Robertson, but Zolman off target, and White, who dropped an interception just a moment ago, does haul that one is his first interception of the season. Tennessee's defense does it again and thwarts Vanderbilt's drive. Well, Greg Zolman talking things over again after the interception by Fred White, as Vanderbilt's defense back out on the field trying to stop Tennessee. T. Martin swings it out, pass incomplete to Wilson. Let's go back downstairs to Dave Logan and Fred Vincent.
All right, Fred, before the interception, you were talking about the future of this ball club.
Yeah, I mean, the future is in good hands, I think. I mean, like I said before, I mean, this game is not a reflection of how offense is improving. I mean, offense has improved a lot this year. And I think, you know, once the season's over, I mean, you can put it behind us and go on from there.
All right, now you got to get ready to play on Sundays, man. Congratulations on that one.
All right, thanks, man. That's about, I'm glad that's what I've been dreaming about all my life, and it's finally coming true. And when that chance comes, I'm going to be very happy that it came.
All right, best wishes to you.
Thanks.
Fred Vincent, a class guy. Dave, we had a chance to spend some time with him this year. Got, what, 4% body fat? Just worked extremely hard all summer to be ready for this season. And you just hate a tremendous athlete like that not being able to perform because of injury.
And then you talk about losing Raheem Batten, the loss that he had, and he's trying to be a coach. He was great yesterday. We talked to him there at the training facility, and really is high-spirited. He's lost just about all the use of his left arm due to a football tackle.
Nerve problem.
But he's really a marvelous guy. Just great attitude.
T. Martin steps in there and fires. Wilson's got one-on-one move, and Jimmy Williams throws him to the turf. Face mask penalty, I think.
Yeah.
As Wilson is slung to the turf, the sophomore out of Memphis Melrose, and that was a frustration foul right there, I think, Dave, more than anything. 17 yards on the catch.
Yeah. But what happens on his one-on-one?
Incidental face mask on the defense.
You see,
5-yard penalty, end of the run.
There's the inside. You see the inside. It's just the incidental one where the hand just gets on top of the face. The other one is the big one where you use the face mask to tackle. But Williams one-on-one out here all by himself. Good move right there. Just gets that hand across the face mask. Doesn't use it to tackle, but it's up there.
Wilson now 3 catches for 36 yards. Williams had to lead the game early in the contest with an apparent concussion, but the doctors and the medical staff at Vanderbilt said he was all right to return to action, and now he's out there again. Pass complete again. Cedric Wilson dipsy-do close to the end zone, down to the 3-yard line. Tell you what, everybody talks about Peerless Price, but one of the reasons this offense is suddenly clicking is the emergence of Cedric Wilson, a former quarterback, now learning the position and knows now where he needs to get for T. Martin to find him.
Well, he makes so many people miss. He's such a threat, not only catching the ball, the first part, catch him, and watch this, make him miss. Boom, get downfield. See right there, a little stutter step. Great, just great talent, averaging almost 18 yards per reception.
4 for 51 today. Tennessee first and goal, trying to jam another one in there. Henry close to the goal line, didn't get in. Jamie Watkins comes up from the safety spot to make the play. There's that big offensive line. Mercedes Hamilton, 75, and Cozy Coleman. Josh Tucker, he's got to play a lot today for Jarvis Rito. And then big Spencer Riley. Riley shaved after Tennessee's last open date. And he said he's not going to shave again until the next open date, which he hopes is January 5th after the Fiesta Bowl.
It's going to be a gray beard then.
It's getting pretty
scraggly.
A little scraggly right now, but he said he's not about to change the luck. Henry dives, didn't get in. Winborn, great play. Just a great stick again as Matt Stewart and Jamie Winborn keep him out of the end zone. Henry said, I was there, but Winborn said, no, sir.
Watch Winborn come up in here, number 42, just spears up, bang, right there. Jimmy Williams, of course, in on the play, gets down low. A lot of it, you see right there, the emotion, that's what you want to play with.
Williams hit him low, but Winborn and Stewart kept him out of the end zone. 7th play of the drive. Cheese. Travis Henry at tailback. They're going to sneak it. Touchdown, T. Martin. His 7th rushing touchdown of the season. He lost his helmet somewhere in the bottom of that.
A lot of effort. Every time you're inside the 1 foot line or something like that, you always want to do that quarterback sneak because you don't have the fear of the handoff, the mistake, the slip. And they just come up there and they just get behind the big guys, and he just dives through, breaks the plane of the end zone for that 7 points.
Spencer Riley burrowing underneath there, and then Will Bartholomew comes up and knocks it, so T. Martin can score the touchdown.
I remember hearing you ask Phil Fulmer, who made the decision to move Spencer Riley, because that's really what solidified their offensive line. He said it wasn't any one coach, but everybody kind of unanimously agreed to make that decision.
It's paid off dividends. Jeff Hall, another extra point. Tennessee more points, 34-0 over Vandy. $34-0 Tennessee. T. Martin now has rushed and passed for touchdowns in his last 4 games, and that's remarkable. Jeff Hall to kick it off for Tennessee. He's been busy today. Williams and Thomas deep for the Commodores. Boots kick, high and short. Fair catch is going to be asked for and made by one of the upbacks, Antoine Bradford. John Ward, Bill Anderson, the Vol Network duo in their final game at Vanderbilt Stadium.
Hello, I'm John Ward. This will be Martin. This will be Henry. He dives. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Last week, Bill Anderson and John Ward got to walk on the Vol Walk to Neyland Stadium. An emotional time for John Ward, who again, in his final year broadcasting in college football. He and Bill Anderson have been around for 31 years. All the drama and excitement of Tennessee football they brought to the millions of listeners throughout the state of Tennessee and the Southeast. Good hustle. Thomas still on his feet. That's one-on-one effort by Lou Thomas.
That was a good effort by Lou Thomas. Get to the outside, break a couple tackles. Watch this, good leg strength, gets his feet up there, breaks a tackle there, now get to the outside. Right here, he dips inside. Now he thinks he can get back outside. Again, gets that feet out, picks up some positive yards. That's what you're looking for, positive things.
Let's listen in to John Ward and Bill Anderson as they call this final quarter.
The Volunteers dig in defensively, and Vanderbilt trailing by a score of 34-0 comes to the line. And let's see, this will be Zolman giving again off to Thomas. Thomas trying to get to the corner. This time he breaks another tackle, stays on his feet with excellent effort. He's got a first down. Bill, this young man has come to make 2 big plays.
Yeah, he's pretty quick and obviously has good balance and strength because people are bouncing off of him. He's been hit, and they don't seem to be able to bring him down.
Vanderbilt lost to Mississippi State 42-0, the only time they've been shut out this year. And Tennessee, of course, will play Mississippi State next week in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. That's a first down for Lou Thomas and for Vanderbilt. 5 carries, 21 yards for Thomas. Clock down to 8:20. Tennessee leading 33-0. Vanderbilt sends the man in motion. And this will be the give again to Thomas, trying the same play, and this time he is hit, fumbles the football. It's been picked up by Tennessee. The Volunteers have Darwin Walker, who has picked up that football at the 35. He's down to the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20, down to the 15. He is shoved out of bounds at the 10. A Volunteer player shaken upon the play, but Darwin Walker comes up with Tennessee's 5th turnover in the football game as the running back got blasted. The ball popped free, and Walker has returned it 26 yards. And Bill, the defense.
One of the great teams in college football, John Ward and Bill Anderson.
Fun to hear their voice, that very distinctive voice, John Ward.
So again, as John just said, the 5th turnover today for the Tennessee defense, and Darwin Walker picks that one up.
Boy, and sometimes, you know, when you try so hard, as Lou Thomas did there, sometimes you get careless with the football, and that's exactly what he did.
So Tennessee now trying to cash in on yet another turnover.
2 tight ends. This is just pounded tough, don't you think?
Rhino offense. Stevens. Big hole. Down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, anytime Tennessee goes into that 2 tight end offense, they got everybody in deep. It's just stretched across the field. It's just power football. Pull a guard, slide along the line. Everybody big man on big man. Hook them inside, and then get that little tiny kick out and down inside they come.
Tennessee's put some different offensive linemen in there. Dyron Robinson now in its center. That's Crosby, 21 at fullback. as Tennessee trying to punch this one in again.
Well, they keep T. Martin in there because, again, that snap is so important. You keep in that game rhythm. You keep your conditioning.
Stevens, the tailback, keeper. Martin running for the end zone and tripped up and stopped short. Good effort from behind. Matt Stewart is the guy who got him by the ankles, threw him off balance, and then Jimmy Williams made sure he stayed out of the end zone.
Great effort by number 26, Stewart. He's on the left side. Look at him run him down right here. Swoop those ankles, try to get that feet together. Good balance there by T. Martin. But they kept him out of the end zone. Interesting that they would choose a play like that. But you think right now it's just pound him up in the middle. You've got the advantage with that big offensive line.
Well, you got a quarterback who can run faster than most tailbacks in the SEC. You try it. Third down, just under a yard. Martin, handoff. Stevens, touchdown. Travis Stevens vaults into the end zone. And the Volunteers push the lead to 40-0.
Well, when you get that even on that surge, on that line, even to even, and all of a sudden, watch this, right side. Even now, you just take them up over top. Boom, just follow them in there. Oh, Crosby on that flow.
Third touchdown of the season for Travis Stevens. Jeff Hall continues to add. Tennessee to kick it off, leading 41-0. They're having a big orange party here tonight at Vanderbilt Stadium. Jeff Hall has accounted for 11 of Tennessee's points. So that means he has 365 on his career. He grew up, always wanted to be a place kicker for Tennessee, and he's living out his dream on a #1 ranked football team. Jimmy Williams follows his block down the sideline. Williams finally run out of bounds. Good return for Williams. Just a moment ago, Tennessee scored the touchdown, and here's how John Ward called it on the Vol Network.
Martin Stevens dives. Give it to him. Stevens catapult 3 yards into the end zone. And the Volunteer lead is expanded.
Famed for give him 6. That time, give it to him. John Ward. What a legend he's been at Tennessee. They've established a scholarship fund in his name at the University of Tennessee in the broadcasting department. And, of course, John also has made a rather hefty contribution to the University of Tennessee academics. What a play there by D'Angelo Lloyd. Taking prisoners is what he's doing.
Wow. D'Angelo Lloyd, he just picks him up, slams him down to the ground.
Today, Vanderbilt has been limited to 80 yards on the ground.
Left of your screen, watch him get in here. Boom, just picks him right up. That's what's called decleater. When you pick him up, see both the ends of his shoes, bottoms of his shoes. Look at Lloyd when he pulls him up here.
I tell you what, that doesn't happen to Jared McGrath very often. He's a pretty tough guy, and even the ball looked like came loose. Second down. This Tennessee team, the defense is getting stronger as the game goes along. McGrath. Look, just can't get to the corner. Oh, that's good effort. Dominic Stevenson fights him to the ground. McGrath, tough-nosed kid. He's got a lot of football left here at Vanderbilt. McGrath over now 1,000 yards in his Vanderbilt career. He's carried the ball 17 times today for 64 tough yards.
They have been tough yards because this Tennessee defense has played strong. You know, you start looking at the contrast of his team. Philip Fulmer getting his team ready for a possible national championship. Woody Woodenhofer trying to find positives for a very, very young team.
Third down. They completed 4 of them today. Good pass there. Almost knocked down the receiver. The pass was completed to Adam Ditto. A lot of pride on this Tennessee defense. They'd like to throw the shutout at them. They haven't had a shutout since Southern Miss in 1995 when they beat them 42-0. And a shutout, Dave, I think would impress some of the BCS pollsters.
Well, They called it one step at a time, Bob, and look at all the W's. It's been one step, and that's really a unique thing. It's a ladder. Every week they put another step on that ladder, and at the top is the SEC championship and, of course, the national championship.
Something even more impressive than that, Tennessee has won 36 straight SEC games in November. So that means they've been finishing the season strong. McGrath again. Will Overstreet, another one of the young guys, a freshman out of Jackson, Mississippi, makes the play, and this time McGrath isn't getting up.
Yeah, and McGrath doesn't look like a big hit right here. He just kind of gets crunched in the middle, but he just stayed down on the field. Kind of got hit from both sides.
So they're going to check on Jared McGrath, the sophomore out of Ocala, Florida. Sophomore, voted captain of this football team. And so we hope that he's all right. You see his staffs on the day. 65 yards rushing for Jared McGrath. And so now the Vanderbilt sideline hopes their captain is all right as they attend to him. Now it's time to look at the BMW Ultimate Drive of the game, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Tennessee had a couple of quick drives in that first half. One of those went to Peerless Price, and he does most of this on his own. 68 yards on the touchdown pitch and catch, and the drive went 97 yards. It took 157. Tennessee was able to go in front there 10-0. Peerless Price today, 7 catches, a career high 181 yards. And they still tend to Jared McGrath here on the turf at Vanderbilt Stadium.
Yeah, McGrath sitting up. That's a good sign. Excellent doctors here. They come out. They just try to stabilize you, see what's wrong with you. They come out and talk.
I wonder if it was his neck. He just kind of got that jammed when he hit the turf.
Well, the turf is hard, and of course, yeah, it's good to see him up walking off the field. As you say, tough player, sophomore, voted captain. Yeah. That's quite a tribute.
Yeah, this, of course, this stadium and this turf has been used a lot this year. Tennessee Oilers play their NFL home football games here. Next week, they've got the Clinic Bowl coming in here, the high school championships in the state. So they'll play 2 games here on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and then the Oilers have a game on Sunday. And of course, nice catch by Tavares Hogan's outside. And one other college game to be in here is they're going to have the Music City Bowl. They'll play it here this season before it moves to the new downtown stadium, which is under construction here in Nashville. Under 4 minutes to go. Zolman would love to get his team on the scoreboard here.
I think that would be a real positive for Vanderbilt today. Their defense has played so hard. I mean, when you look at 41-0, you don't think that you've even been in the football game. But remember, at the end of the first quarter, it was 3-0, and Vanderbilt had a shot to tie the score and ended up getting dropped and weren't able to convert that field goal try.
Zolman steps up, pass intercepted. It's intercepted by Derek Edmonds. 6th turnover today for Tennessee, and Edmonds picks off his 2nd pass of the season.
What Edmonds does is he just zeroes in on the quarterback's eyes. You're going to see Ditto come down and just do a curl pattern to the inside. And watch this inside. You see him just zero in on the eyes of the quarterback. When he made his break, he was planted back there, put that foot down. He talked about closing speed, and that's what Edmonds did on that.
And now a new quarterback for the Volunteers. The day is done for T. Martin, and Bernie Veazey comes in. And you see Bernie's numbers this year. Freshman out of South Haven, Mississippi. He's an excellent athlete. He also can run. Multi-sports star in high school. And Travis Henry picks his way for a couple. Stewart makes the play along with Alfonso Harvey for the Vanderbilt Commodores. I'm sure Tennessee now would just kind of like to salt the clock away and get back on. There's going to be quite a traffic jam heading out on I-40 back toward Knoxville, because there are a lot of Tennessee fans here today.
There's 40,000 or so sitting here. You know, you'd think this was a home game for Tennessee, really, when you look out here and see this orange just completely all the way around the stadium.
Travis Henry, 119 yards on the day, takes him over 800 for the season. So he's got an outside shot at 1,000 if he has a big day in the SEC championship game. He's going to add more here. Henry breaking it into Vanderbilt territory, down to the 44-yard line. Travis Henry, what a story he has been for this Tennessee team. 16 yards on that carry.
Boy, nice move right here. Come up inside. The play's not there. Break it outside. Now get your shoulders square upfield. Just kind of zip in there. Get a few yards.
Grew up in Lake Wales, Florida, then moved to Frostproof. That's where he played his high school football. And now he's been Tennessee's leading rusher since the loss of Jamal Lewis, who, by the way, is on the comeback trail. Should be ready to go in time for spring practice. So next year, Tennessee will have Jamal Lewis plus Henry plus Stevens.
And then you got Bryson on the other side.
Yeah. Well, Bryson actually is a senior.
That's right, he is. I'm sorry. But you got Bartholomew and you got Crosby, who played well today.
That's right. You got those two back.
Dead ball foul. 25-second violation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Clock will start on the snap.
Not many penalties today either side. Philip Fulmer has to be impressed with the way his football team is taking care of business. Finally, a smile on his face. Let's go downstairs to David Logan.
Okay, Bob, the news on the Vanderbilt side is pretty good concerning Jarrett McGrath. He took a shot to the head, mild concussion. He's up. He was conscious all the time. Right now, they've got some ice on the back of the neck. Needless to say, he won't return to this game, but it is not serious. All right, that's good news. Thanks, David.
2:09 to go. Tennessee, you would think, would keep it on the ground here. And knocked back. On that play was Travis Stevens. Now time to announce our Amoco players of the game. For Tennessee, Peerless Price, 181 yards, career high, 7 catches and a touchdown. And Jamie Winborn, 12 tackles. He's the leading tackler in the Southeastern Conference. Played extremely well today. Gave great effort for the Commodores, our Amoco players of the game. And Peerless Price, part of a special team at Tennessee now, as the Volunteers will become the first team in UT history to go 11-0 during the regular season.
And I'll tell you, you've got to be good to go 11-0 because every week you've got somebody coming after you.
And this time, nothing going there. Bernie Beasy rolled down. Tennessee has had 7 perfect seasons. And, of course, most of those came back in the days when you played 9 or 10 games. So this is the first 11-0 season. Here are the BCS finalists. And you mentioned the SEC. Still Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi State. And then at large, Arizona, Florida, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. So a lot of things going to happen in this next week of the season with all the championship games coming up. Texas A&M, of course, lost yesterday to Texas. That changes the complexion there a little bit. UCLA, of course, has still another big game to play against Miami. Rolling down the final 45 seconds.
Bob, the formula is the thing that's incredible. Nobody seems to understand the formula. It's a compiling of your record, your team's record that you play against, the opponent's records that you play against. It's just incredible.
And the celebration has begun on the Tennessee sidelines. Philip Fulmer told this team when the season started, you don't have to be the best team in the country, just the best team on that field every Saturday. And the team has taken it to heart. And the Volunteers are going to have their first undefeated regular season since 1956. Tennessee's last national championship, 1951. And if the Volunteers can win the SEC championship game next week, they will play for the national title, you would have to think, at the Fiesta Bowl. Impressive today, Woody Wuttenhofer congratulating Philip Fulmer. A 41-0 Tennessee triumph. And Dave, they were very, very impressive.
Oh, they were impressive in every part of the game. Defense, offense, special teams, everything.
SEC East champs, Tennessee, 11-0. Back to wrap things up from Dudley Field in just a moment. Tennessee now has won 19 straight regular season games and 16 straight against Vanderbilt. As Tennessee throws the shutout today, 41-0. The defending SEC champions have a chance to do it again next week in Atlanta. We'll continue from Nashville, but first a word from your local SEC stations. Undefeated seasons are very rare, and Tennessee has just accomplished that feat as they celebrate here at Dudley Field. 41-0 the final today. Peerless Price, T. Martin, and that Tennessee defense leading the way. I'd like to thank everybody who has made SEC football. They brought you the sights and sounds all season long. one game yet to play. Tennessee and Mississippi State next week in Atlanta for the SEC Championship. For Dave Rowe and David Logan, I'm Bob Kessling. So long from Nashville.